ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feline on speed out, hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show it, she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale. Hey, they talk like they got it, but they need to stop it. I'm leading with logic, my heartbeat is frosted. I seen it, got optics, I need it from Shawty. She mean with the top and it's obvious. They need him a target, I'm dodging their darts, make them reach for the stars. I'm dumping, I'm forcing the pun off the runs. I'm moving with caution, I'm saucing my nigga is nothing. From nothing to something they'll never be. Tycoon and I'm Jay with the thizzle face. I'm nothing my section has ever seen. Run the ice so I'm clutch, I don't need a screen. I'm Curry, I stitch it from 30 deep. Do the pin in the pad like a surgery. She been curving you just to flirt with me. Toolie tucked off, but the jewels out. I just in a home with a full mouth. I'm a rare breed when the moon out. I'ma stop playing by the rules now. I been ran plays, need a new route. Queen said she needs space in a new house. Mom told me that you pray for the kid every day. No wonder I'm getting paid for the tunes now. You down the ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feline on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. Niggas really outside with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it.
Justin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday night. Y'all know what time it is. Barbershop Talk is about to go downs in here tonight. It's so good to see everybody in the chat tonight. We got CBN in the chat tonight. Scam, the dust is in the building tonight. We got the other half of What We Know podcast. Rob is in the building tonight. We got Marcus in the building. We got Cody is King here, man. Thank you for being here, man. You've been here for the last few days. Appreciate your support. We think Jill's Chocolate Boutique is in the building tonight. Jill, good to see you, hun. All right, we got Ronnie Hunter in the building tonight. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, hello to you too. Cody is King. Listen, today has been a very eventful day. Let me tell y'all why. You know, I've been going real crazy. I've been doing short crazy. Luke Hazley, the beautiful, gorgeous, and a very alert and woke up. Luke Hazley is in the building tonight. Good to see you, hun. Good to see you. So let me tell you what's been happening. I've been doing reels and shorts and all this other stuff. And man, I had a hard day today. Well, they had a hard day today, not me. The things that I'm posting, well, the women are coming for me and they're coming hard. And I love it. I love it. I feel like my car was empty this morning when I got up and they filled me up this morning. So I appreciate the ladies out there that's mad at me for posting these videos of y'all's bad behavior. Matter of fact, I'm going to share that with you guys in a few minutes when I bring everybody up because it's very, very, very funny that we talk about accountability. And the time I put it up, they said I'm wrong for putting it up, but they never said that women were wrong for putting their dukes up. It's all about me. They say I'm negative. Let me go down the list of things here. They said I'm negative. I should paint myself white because I hate my own people. I hate black women. I hate my own mom. I hate. They went in on me today, and I love every part of it because nobody wants to be held accountable. There's no accountability. And so I love it. So guys, again, thank you guys for being here. Make sure y'all share this with one person right now. Just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that Cash App button. If you want to go ahead and hit that Cash App button, it's rolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want to be a part of this channel, go ahead and Luke Hazley. Go ahead and hit that join button. And if you want to give a super chat, do that, and we'll play something good for you tonight. So again, welcome. Now I want to bring up everybody tonight. That's backstage. We got some that's here and some that will be here. Mo C, what's going on, man? What's going on? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Ronnie Hunter, you're right. Yo mama black. Yeah, I heard it all. So guys, I'm gonna bring up the comedian extraordinaire. Give it up for yours truly. He got the bald head covered today. He looked like a Dwayne. No. He looked like a Damon Wayans backup comedian tonight. Let's give it up for DL Saint. He's in the building tonight.
Man, you got jokes. That's how our brother get treated on Friday. I clear up a Friday for you, and this is how I get treated.
I love you, man.
I love you back, bro.
All right. So good to see you, man. All right, then we got my other brother in the house tonight. He's very good with a sword. He always has it in his lap. Hopefully, he's gonna have it in his lap tonight. He always has it in the back corner. So I'm gonna bring up my boy. Y'all don't know he's Ronan. Come on, he's in the building tonight. Let's give it up for my boy Ronan in the building tonight.
Going on.
All right. So listen, these are two men that have served our country. So watch this. It's going to get a little bit more crazy in here tonight. The next person that's coming up right now is also a veteran as well. Let's give it up for Mandrell in the building tonight. All right. And then we got another veteran, veteran in the building tonight. Let's give it up for JT in the building tonight.
Oh shit. Wrong show, huh? Wrong show. My bad.
Oh yeah. All right, last but not least, man, we got the balance of every conversation that goes on this platform. Let's give it up for yours truly, man. Mr. Bennett is in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. So back to the conversation. So they were talking about me so bad, and Mr. Bennett, you just came in. I was posting some things today, and in the last few days, women have been going crazy about my post because they don't want any accountability. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show y'all the first post that made them go crazy. I was at work and my phone was just ding, 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 ding. So Sir Hell sent me a message, and Sir Hell say, "Oh, they coming for you, boy." I said, "Okay." I said, "Let them come." And so here we go. I'm gonna play the first one, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Here we go. Before we get started in our show tonight. All right, here we go. Let me turn the volume up. All right, here we go. These are the black women you want black men to marry. Oh, no, I gotta go to the beginning, guys. Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute it and then let it go to the end so y'all can hear the whole thing. Cause it's crazy. But anyway, while we waiting on this, let me hear everybody's mind, man. Where y'all at, man? DL Saint, how's your day, man? How's the family? How's your daughter and all that good stuff, brother?
I mean, family's cool, man, but it's I spend the day dealing with family court stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah. So y'all already know where my attitude is right now. So I'm like, yeah, y'all think black man's bad? I'm really gonna have to watch myself on this one. But but the one thing I will say about that is this: America, in my opinion, America is slowly destroying itself, one person at a time. You know what I mean? You can say one man, one woman, one child, however you want to put it. Mm-hmm. But we are slowly destroying ourselves from within. And you just got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And, not to pick on women, but women, y'all emotions. Like, some feels good this minute, and then you do it, and it feels bad the next minute. Look at Taraji P. What's her last name? Henson, whatever. No, Taraji.
Yeah.
She out there now crying about being 50 and single and lonely and unhappy.
I'm you know what? I'm so happy about that because she was on Steve Harvey's show about a couple of years ago talking about if he can't do this and he can't do that, he ain't gonna be in my life. Boom, right? That was her. Steve Harvey. He's the simp emperor. But he had her on, and she said that, and then he had Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer said, all these men, they just fast. All they want to do is get in the bed with you. That's it. And I ain't putting up with it. I'm going to dismiss them. And now you're pregnant by a guy you're not married to. So they're just talking. They're just talking. They're just
talking loud, saying nothing, but it is what it is.
Saying nothing. Yeah. I had a short the other day that pissed some people off, too. It was a video of Sanaya Lathan and... what's the Nia Long, Melissa, and Regina Hall. And they posted something saying that they were 50. All of them are 50. And none of them have a man. 2 of them are baby mamas. All 4 of them are single.
I mean, at least the baby mamas got the babies, though. The ones that are all single messed up.
Right. And at one time, these were the baddest women in Hollywood.
Bro, real talk. I was at the Diamond Hollywood. Me and my man Ty Barnett. Shout out to Ty Barnett. We were at the Diamond Hollywood. It's like a cool little bar on Fairfax. And guess who I'm standing next to at the bar? Shania Latham. I didn't know who she was. I'm just standing next to her. I'm like, man, this woman right here, fine. I'm looking at all her accessories. I'm like, okay, this woman got bread. And I said something to her. She spoke to me. She realized I didn't know her, so she was having a conversation. Because that's what people in Hollywood look for, a real conversation with people who don't know them. Then I look off to her shoulder, and over her shoulder, they got a little section, and Taraji is standing up the back of the section, bottles up, and it was mass groupie dudes in there. Mass groupie dudes. The first time I ever saw groupie dudes for real like that.
Wow.
Mass groupie dudes. Now, this was back in, God, man, this had to be 2015, 2016, maybe somewhere in there. Is that right? Yeah, about 2015, 2016. And I look at her now, both of them, and it's like, wow. You know what I mean? Wow. Yep. So, ladies, think about it.
Yep, it's bad. So let me see if this will play now. Give me just a second. Here we go. Down the black woman like the black man. I'm tired of you black men. Yeah. Here we go. Let me refresh this damn thing and let it play. All right. Down the black woman like the black man. Yeah, I don't think you want to play tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, so I'll try to get it to come up later. So, let me get it back.
What did you just tell us what you said?
Yeah, what'd you say?
So what I said was nobody downs black women like black men. And then I said, oh, and I looked off into the distance, and it was a video of two black women at work beating the shit out of each other. And I said, women don't hold women accountable, but they like to hold men accountable. And if men do something wrong, we have these names for men: deadbeat dads, ain't shit niggas, right? He ain't this. He don't take care of his kids, right? The women,
boy.
The women for the men, and in the hood, the women are the national anthem for the men's problems. But they're the reveille horn for their own. Everything's sad. Let's pray for her. Lay hands. Yeah. She only got
low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. She only got pregnant because she wanted some food. She was hungry. And I want to say this to everybody, okay? Because I know this whole YouTube thing is changing. But before we get started, I just want to say this to all the women that commented on the post today. Man, I appreciate you guys tremendously. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart tonight, fuck you. Go and jump in the pool and sniff. And run down your local interstate with a blindfold on during lunch break. Because these women they're just outrageous. They were talking about my mama. It's just I love it though.
Why does this bother you so?
It's not bothering me. I love it because that's why I want to share it, because so people can see when you hold women accountable, or you say all men do is drag women, but I have a video of women dragging themselves.
One of millions.
One of millions, right? And then
but what about all the black men in Chicago shooting each other and gunning each other down the street? Black men are worse than women. Okay, black men can never be better than black women. I can't even do this shit with a straight face. I'm sorry, fellas.
Yeah.
I was trying to hold it together. I couldn't. Yeah. I was trying to hold it together, but the more I talked, the more the smile came.
I knew you were
bullshitting. I can't do it with a straight face.
I knew you were bullshitting.
You gave it the college try.
I tried. I can't even do it with a straight face, man. I mean,
get an E for effort.
Yeah, you got it.
Effort.
Right, and you know what? And I said this one day, and a lot of people did get mad at me, and I still don't care. There were some women that says, "Well, you talk about us, but they brought up the whole Chicago thing. But look at those men out there that shooting each other. Those men have killed way more. They've deleted more men than anybody. You men are so violent." I said, "Ma'am, the most violent woman on the planet. I mean, the most violent person on the planet is you." I said, when you can tell me, think about this. When you can tell me that you have deleted less men by way of deletion of babies, because right now it's 20 million. I don't know no state with no violence that have taken out 20 million black men or black girls. I don't know no states. And until we catch up with y'all, just don't say nothing.
Black man, can I kind of add this?
You sure can.
Next time one of those women try to make that an argument, first and foremost, tell them in Chicago, most of them are children. They're anywhere from 9 to 20 years old.
And where your goddamn mammies at?
Majority of those ones.
Since y'all the shit, where the fuck are you, mama? I'm sorry,
but I was about to say,
where your mammies at?
The majority of them that kills one another, they run from the age, and it's the majority of them are in between 14 and 17. And if you look in their background, guess what they have?
Hey, Mo C, send me a message.
Only mothers. Yep. Only mothers.
Yeah, hey, here's the thing. They got mothers, yeah, but since these boys are killing each other, yes, black men kill each other, blah, blah. Well, you're the ones, you're the ones raising them.
Right.
So you're teaching these kids to be this way. No, we're not. Then where do they get it from? You claim you claim the fathers ain't in the house. Clearly they're not getting it from us.
And the fathers are forced out of the house. I mean, that's another thing too. Like, you're gonna do this, and I'm not talking about all women. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about a very small minority. I ain't gonna lie to you. The women who utilize the system in the way that they do to force men out because they want to maximize on the child support money or whatever the case may be, or they just bitter or whatever. Right? You got to take accountability for what happens next. It takes a village to raise a kid. We don't have a village, and you can't even get a child both parents to give them a shot. You know what I mean? And then they go out in the street and they take a shot, they take a life, and you don't want to be responsible for it. I mean, there's so many men that go out here and get pounded, and they lose so much money throwing good money after bad, trying to get in their child's life, and they can't. And the other person just taking the money. Then when it goes bad, they don't want to say, "Oh, well, maybe it was I had some hand in this." That's the stuff that drives me crazy. So yeah, I'm with you on that, man. They weren't talking about these deadbeat dads. When you start talking about some of these deadbeat mothers.
Yeah, it'll sound real good once you take yourself off of mute.
Yeah, black man, you muted.
Oh, my bad. I said it's a whole bunch of deadbeat mamas out here. I know a whole few of them. But anyway, this is the one that really pissed some of my family members off. This one pissed a lot of my family members off. So I'm gonna play
this. This was your favorite. This is my favorite one right here.
Yeah. I'm gonna play this. Here we go.
My husband is number one. If my husband tells me, "Hey, sit down," I'll sit down. If he tells me you can't go out with your friends today, I'm not gonna go out with my friends. If he says, "Hey, go wash this dish for me," I'm gonna go wash the dish for him. I chose this man to be the king of my life. And yes, I agree with everything he says. And I would do that for him. I obey him, I respect him, and I let him be the man that he is.
Let's stretch our arms out to this sister and ask her God to give her complete protection everywhere she goes. She needs it because she's speaking the word. I don't even have words. I don't even have words because she's wonderful. And there must be a God somewhere. Mm-hmm.
Husband is my boss.
Okay, here's my question. What did it wait? Hold on. Gotcha. But my question is, what did the comments say on that one? But before you answer that,
she's a slave.
Okay.
Pick me.
She's a slave. She's a pick me. We always posting women of other colors because black women do this every day for their men.
No, they don't. They don't.
That's what I've been battling all day, man.
Drop the cap. Here's the thing. This is why. This is why. Like this.
Fix your face. Fix your face.
No, this is why this kind of conversation. You notice that my sister and I, we don't bring up relationships on our show because it's pointless. It is pointless to have this conversation anymore. This conversation is going on long enough. Nobody's learning anything. They're not. The women are not learning because they refuse to learn. They want relationships and marriage, but they want them on their own terms.
No, man, Joe, they want a wedding day. They don't want a marriage.
No. They want the marriage, but they want it on their own terms. Here's what I mean. They want you to be what they want you to be. That's it. They don't want you to be a man because men, they would have to acquiesce to things. They don't want to do that. They want it on their own terms. A lot of these women, that's what they want. Now I can get on these panels like your boy up here, Ronan. I saw him on a popular one. I forget the name of it, but yeah, they talk about this all the time, and I'm just like, I can't stomach more than 5 minutes of the conversation because like this is dumb. Why you keep talking about this? You're not getting through to these women. Let them die. Leave them alone. Let them die. They want to die. This black
take the country with them. Take the whole country with them.
No. They're not taking the country. It's just the black community that doesn't exist, but people like to think it does. It's a wrap. It's over. Okay.
This is all community.
They don't mean to stop fighting a good fight, though, man.
Shut up. It's a losing battle, and you know it. Save as many people as you can and move on with life. That's it. The people who want to learn and be successful are going to do so. They're going to listen to the messages that we give to them. They're going to apply it to their lives, and they're going to improve. The rest, which is the vast majority, I say the 98 and the 98 percentile, they're going to buy a dog if they can afford it, which most of them can't, and die alone.
But that don't mean to give up the good fight, brother.
No, JT. Where you going wrong again?
Stop cutting me off.
JT, it's because you're wrong, brother. And here's the thing. You know I love you. You say stop fighting a good fight. We are not stopping anything. They stop. Here's the thing. Understand? They stopped. Look at the reception that Black Man is getting with his videos.
Andrea, we ain't even in the thing yet. We ain't got to argue about this. Let's prove my point right quick, bro.
You can't prove that one. That's
all right. So there's people that don't think like you. There's people that have
unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's people that have another way on how they can teach one, and that's what it is. Just because you have that idea, right? Just because you have the ideology, that may be right, but it don't mean that just your way is right. So you got to have some people that'll sit back and they will lay on the sword. They will sacrifice what it is that they have going on just so they can save at least one or two people, so they can save one or two people. If you are thinking that way, of course, I'm with you. But then there's other people, but you can't say that there's not.
This is why I stopped you, JT. You're saying you and I agree. The vast majority of the times, you just say the same thing I'm saying.
No, you said it's over.
Hold on. In a different way. I said the people who are going to learn, they're going to learn. They're going to pick up on the message, apply it to their lives, improve, and get better, and go on to be successful. The 98% are not. It's over. Okay, this shit is easy. It's not hard. I look at E-Man laughing, and I watch him on platforms. I'm just like, why don't we just listen to E-Man? It's not like he's lying. But they kind of shrug him off and stuff. I'm like, how do you disagree with that? It's I had my fun with this conversation. And people thought that my ideology was something that is not. So that's my bad. But people bring this pain and suffering on themselves, and they refuse to acknowledge that part. And that's where they're going to stay before they even get to the finish line, before they even get to the start line. They ain't lined up yet on the track. They're stuck on the sideline, and that's where they will stay. And this is what we must accept.
All right, now watch this. I'm going to play these throughout because I want to share these with the fellas. And when you get in, what's up, E-Man? When you get in, we'll do these throughout. But I'm going to play this last one, then we'll go into a conversation here. This one right here, I really want to know what you guys think. Hold on a second. Here we go. Mo C in the building tonight. What's going on, Mo? All right, so here we go, guys. I'm going to play this one. Hold on.
Relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes, but there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife.
What was wrong, baby?
So I cut off the engagement.
You don't have to go to a pasture to see bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing else about I can't find a man. Where all the good men at? Girl, I'm always getting hurt. I'm always dealing with niggas that don't want to be with me. In the words of Bernie Mac, shut the fuck up. Don't nobody else want to hear no complaining. This woman's going to die.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship.
Now, JT, I rest my MFing case. That is 98%. I think I won't say 98%. I'll give them a little more credit, but that is the vast majority of the cases here today, and that stretches not only just in Black communities. That's in all races. You got women who will drop like very suitable men, and they know that these men are suitable, but they don't want to marry them. They marry drama. They marry a guy who's going to ignore them and treat them like trash. But they mistake that for masculinity. Whereas masculinity, hold on a second. Masculine men are not ignoring you just to be a dick. I mean, just to be mean. We're ignoring you. We're telling you, we're putting you to the side until we finish taking care of business. We have things to do. So I'm over here, I'm working, I'm making phone calls. You know what I'm saying? I have things to do, and I'll get to you after I'm done. Well, but can't you just put something to the side? No, I cannot. Well, maybe I can, but I'm just, how about this? I'm not going to sit here and wait until I'm done. They don't like that. They don't like that. They run from that because that's masculinity. That's manhood. They don't want it. But they want the jerk who's like calling them all kinds of names and carrying on.
Yeah.
You know, they think that's masculinity, but it's not. That's just a guy being a jerk. There's a difference, ladies. Oftentimes, self-awareness gets confused with arrogance. And that's, I think, women's biggest flaw. They have the hardest time separating the two or telling the difference. And it gets them in a lot of trouble. Next thing you know, 7 kids and 6 baby daddies later, you know what? I finally figured it out. Well, too bad. We don't want you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 100% on board with that, man, Drill. I'm 100% on board with that.
Right.
I've experienced that all the time with these freaking girls. There was this one girl who thought she was going to get married, had the white picket fence dream, all that stuff. The guy ditches her, gets 5 other women pregnant. That's another story now, digress. And now she's miserable. She's on drugs. She's on all that. So there is consequences to a lot of these women trying to rush things and trying to get into marriage really right away. You have to have that courtship. You have to have, you have to vet these people. And it works the other way with men. Men gotta vet women.
All right, Mr. Bennett, what are your thoughts? Oh, you muted. You muted.
And Mandrell, we can hear you eating, Mandrell. We can't hear you talking, Mr. Bennett.
Sound like a goldfish having sex with a puppy.
He's suffering from mutation.
Listen. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that just because I'm eating food that arouses you, black man. I don't know what to make of this.
Somebody mute my brother. Somebody mute my brother.
For me, I don't know what that's about.
So I guess I go why Mandrell figured that out.
Or we couldn't hear Mr. Bennett.
Mr. Bennett. What do you mean?
He said give him a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So I've been telling. I completely disagree with JT. No, don't try to revive a dead body. It's time for men to put up their capes. And you need to go. You need to go where you're wanted.
I told you. Email will be on panels. Email be on panels saying this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, there's your answer right there.
Okay, let him finish. Go ahead, email.
I think at some point in time we gotta get sick and tired. Like we gotta say enough is enough. Like I see so many black men trying to revive these black women. Let me bring you back to life. Let me bring Frankenstein back to life. No, if they don't want to act right, they don't want to get on your page. You go where you're wanted. You go to the women that wants to be led. And when I say these type of things, people sound like it's just like, when do you put the cape up? When you stop playing Captain Save-A-Ho? Because in reality, and this is not for you, this is for the rest of the world, but reality, we got to start making decisions that's going to be better for us 20, 30 years. And it's all about us picking the right women for our
testing.
I got you, Mr. Bennett. We got you.
Right after Mr. Bennett, can I please clarify myself? Because Mandrell just overtalked everything that I was.
No, you may not.
Go ahead, Email, you done?
Yeah, I was just trying to get in there before Mr. Bennett got back.
Okay, good. It's Mr. Bennett, what were your thoughts, brother, on the video? You muted again.
You muted again, bro. You had it, now it's gone.
I thought you worked in IT.
Hey, hold on.
I worked at you for 20 years.
Hey,
there you go.
I worked at you for 20 years.
Hey, let him talk before he goes to mute
again. Help you
again.
with the problem, with the audio problem.
I know. I don't know which video you want to comment on.
The young lady that said she had everything that a woman wants in a man.
I mean I got no words for that.
What do you do with that?
Matt, again, I think a lot of it comes, what's been fed into the culture to satisfy women, that, your man is out there for you, and that perfect man, or finding that chemistry or that connection, your soulmate. I think all of those tropes, all those ideas, I think they have been detrimental, particularly for us. I don't know. I might have started with the horror. I grew up when they used to do the horoscope stuff back in the day. I don't even know if they still do that anymore. But everything became very much, you have to, know that person is the one rather than being the one.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to get married, but nobody wants to be married. And so I think that this condition that's been brought into our communities, and then results, I think the saddest thing ever is, like, if you look at go back to the 60s, the 70s, and all the way up, first woman from the 60s I ever fell in love with was probably Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek. And you go with the Pam Grier in the 70s and whatnot, all these women, all of these, the women you were talking about earlier who are in their 50s now, and all of them are single, no man, no legacy. Angela Bassett might be one of the few that's out there that has her, that has her man, or
still fine too.
Or even Beyonce, they went through their struggles with Jay-Z, but they're still together. But all these divas who we just idolized back in the day, and right now it's like they're in the state of affairs. But I think the what's been taught to women is, and it's been in all segments of our culture. The churches, the community. What's been said is, it's just what the expectations that women have, and it's to the point now where all of the, what really matters, forget everything that's on paper. Like, okay, the guy, as she said, he checked off all the boxes, but if I'm not feeling a certain thing for him, then that's not enough. So again, she's going to be like Mandrell was saying earlier, get the dog and die alone. But that's just very sad that unfortunately too many of our women are, in terms of what to pick in a man. I pray to God that if my daughters would emulate half of hopefully what I've tried to be, that they'll do better in picking future mates. But that story happens just way too often, where just women just break things off for these reasons that have nothing to do with what makes a marriage successful, but it's all about how the person makes me feel. And they're looking for a feeling that is undefinable, but they just know if it's there or not. And I want to add this as a result of it. It's
right. I want to add this. I want everybody to hold on to their chair, because that was a 60-second clip, and that's how it is on the reels. To finish the story out, because Black David told me, boy, you about to see it. Don't let her off the hook. If you go and watch this whole video, the thing that she couldn't connect with, I hope y'all everybody hold on to your seats. At the end of the video, she said the thing that she couldn't connect with is the fact that he drives, I think, a 2014 car or something. He drives an older car, and she wants a man with status. So that's why, one of the reasons why she broke it off. Yeah, you got to watch the whole video. It'll startle you. It's
I'll definitely say this, because when Mandrell was talking, I'm definitely down with Brother Mandrell. That's the Green Beret, man. That's the weapons sergeant. I'm normally whatever he say I'm with. But when he was like, that's the majority of women, the vast majority of women, in my mind, originally I wanted to just jump in like, nah, man, they're the minority. They're a minority. But you keep looking at information, you keep looking at numbers, you watch YouTube, which again, that's a small percentage of the real world, but still, I don't know. You got Morgan Stanley doing research, and it says 45% of working women aged 25 to 44 are projected to be single by 2030. 2030, like, bro, that's right around the corner. So when you see numbers like that, women are going to school and this and that, and then you see that story that you showed, man, I know a lot of women who secured their man when they were young, and they went on to have, well, half of them went on to have good marriages, and the other half, of course, didn't, because we know 50% of marriages end in divorce, right? So I don't know, man. I want to hear from some ladies in the chat. What would you say, the majority of women are acting like this, or the minority of women are acting
Stop
like this?
it. You know they're gonna lie. And you know
we
it.
got a couple real ones though. We got a couple real ones in there.
Oh, yeah, Luke Hazley in there. That's a real one. Who else?
No, hold on. I got another one for you, Mandrill. This you may like this one. And then we'll go into the conversation, and then we'll just periodically go back to these shorts. All right, here we go.
Women are so damn smart. How come they the only motherfuckers that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in a situation? Like, y'all claim y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, "Oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this." When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault. You should have seen it coming. Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women? Because let me tell you a stat that should shock you all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men? What does that tell you? It tells you that women are fucking the same man. Boom. So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit bitch to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these bitches, and bitches jump right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society. Because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to women.
Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to Fresh and Fit.
Hey, Mr. Bennett, what's your thoughts?
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't. I got nothing to add to that. I can't.
So by show of hand, raise your hand if you think that he's telling a lie.
DL, I don't pull this stuff out of my ass. I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll look that way. I'm just this stat right here. 45% of working women by 2030 will be single and childless.
The numbers.
So 45. So those are the women in. So it's damn near. It's damn near the. You know what I mean? It's damn near half.
It boils down to this. Hey, wait, hold on, 1 second, man. It boils down to this. 80% of the women are only going after 20% of the men.
I believe that.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
That's what he just
you know what I'm saying? And to fix
E-Man shaking his head. E-Man shaking his head.
That is. Most of the women are going after a smaller number of men. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you get women. Well, that's why you have guys with several different kids, several different women, because these women are coming after that dude. Now that guy might not be worth 2 cents, man, but you know full well. You personally know some fellas out here with several different kids, with several different women, and this dude has nothing going for himself except charisma. He's got a lots of charisma, and he might be a handsome dude. That's the only thing he has going for him. But
okay, so let's make sure we get. Go ahead, JT. After JT, Ronan jump in there, and then
we went over a lot of people's head was the stat that he put up about the amount of women having kids more than the amount of men having kids.
Yeah, twice as much.
Right. So by nature, men would have. We used to have at least twice or 3 times as many kids as women did. Now women have extremely more children than men do. What he was saying was that there's no way that you cannot, if you look at those numbers, that you cannot say that there's a 2080. Even if it's not 2080, it's still gonna be like a 70-30. There's no way that should even happen. Women should even come close to having as many kids as men. If anybody understand how it was before, you had men that took care of multiple families.
Yep.
They took care of multiple. You never had a woman taking care of multiple families, ever. How? They ain't her kids. You had a man doing it. That's what I was saying before, Mandrell. We had a show last night. What were we talking about? Man, it's better for us to talk to men than it is women, because women don't save the world. Men save the world. We save the fucking world.
Well,
I was saying.
E-Man, before you go, I want to put this out there too, because I want Ronan to jump in here and then E-Man come after Ronan. But watch this. I shared this with a few of the guys on the panel today, and the lady and the person that exposed it was a lady, and I couldn't believe it. Right? She works for it. The National Blood Bank put out their numbers over men that have tested children as far as DNA to make sure that they were their children, or to give blood to a child, or so on and so forth. They said 35 to 40% of the people that were tested, or 35 to 40% of those men that have their names on the birth certificates is not their children.
The CDC reported the same thing.
Yep.
Yes.
And so
it's actually closer. It's more like 38, 38 and some change. It's closer to 40. You know what I'm saying? It's like 40% of the men who are married and think those kids are biologically theirs. Nearly 40% of them ain't theirs. We're talking about people. Yeah, we're talking about that kind of thing. It's the numbers are way worse than we realize. When you essentially start looking at the numbers, E-Man, and see how those are just the ones on record.
Right.
Those are just the ones on record.
Imagine.
So when we started, since I started in these conversations, I actually started doing my research and reading and things like that. That's why I get the information I have.
Right.
And E-Man, it shocked me too. That's why I'm like, at this point, I'm like, yo, what's the point, dude?
I want to hear what Brother Ronnie got to say.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna get Ronan in here. I'm gonna get Ronan in here, but I'm gonna say this, guys. Almost 40% of men who sign birth certificates, this includes married men, seriously dating men, engaged men, and men that have just had one night stands with women. These cover all the categories, bro. Almost 38, like Major said, almost 40% of those men who have been paying child support for 10 years, 12 years, 14 years, and all that money is going to a child that's not theirs. These men are going to get these babies tested, and they're not theirs.
And the court's not stopping them from paying the courts make those guys still keep paying the child support.
The court system is very corrupt, man, Joe.
That's the crazy part to me. They make
them pay until they find the father. Watch this though. The crazy thing about it is that when these men pay the child support, they can't get their money back. The state says they're not responsible for returning any money to these men. So basically, if you paying $1,000 a month in child support and you paid that $1,000 for 12 years, somebody do the math here. And you mean to tell me you've invested that kind of money in a child that's not yours? That's like leasing a house that gets bought by a landowner and they tear it down. And you built onto it. Like, it's crazy. And these kids are just, I mean, what do you want a man to do after he's been paying? One guy, guys, we're going to do it. I didn't do it tonight. I'm not going to show it tonight because it's going to be Reaction Monday. One guy that they tested the kids, he tested one, was heartbroken, was not his, 13 years old. He tested his friends, say, man, just test them all. He has 3 kids with his wife. They're married, not separated, not divorced.
A black man at 12 years at them numbers, that's $144,000.
And the man, guys, he tested all 3 of his kids. None of them were his. They were her ex-husbands.
See, the thing is that here's another thing. This is why that's a dangerous game, ladies are playing with men. I mean, I'm not for domestic violence or anything like that, but if it were to happen in that case, I go, oh, I understand. You're not going to do anything? No, I'm not doing anything about that. You had that coming. Whatever he does to her, she had it coming. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever he does to her in that situation, yo, you hit lady.
You get what you get.
You know what I'm saying? You get what you get with all 3. Yeah. All 3, lady, you get what you get.
Now, Ronan, what are your thoughts on the whole thing, brother?
What I see is like not only are most women using their children as human unemployment vouchers.
Damn! Wait! Slow down. Slow down.
I love Ronan, man. You gotta come out with a book, bro.
Slow down, Ronan. I want you to say that again. I'm gonna do like security boss. I want you to slow it down, and I want you to say it again.
I said not only women are using their children as human unemployment vouchers, and I've seen it. A lot of us have seen it in real time to where you have a relationship with a woman and her mom knows that you smashing. She's hoping her daughter gets pregnant, so when she gets out, she gets pregnant again to keep her welfare benefits. There's 4th and 5th and 6th generation welfare recipients out here.
Yes, sir.
Who don't have a genuine connection with their children. It's just like, look, either I have an anchor baby to keep a guy here, or you go into Memphis where they had 3 guys who sired 80 plus kids in that project. So when I get on these panels, I don't listen to the bobbleheads who got a whole bunch of fuck ups and stuff like that. I talk to women who actually either married or aspire to listen to some things. I don't know the numbers. And the guys, I tell them, look, protect yourself at all times. All times. And it's bad when you get out here and you even have heated debates about getting STI screenings with men and women because they hate the truth in there. You can't falsify them things, especially if you go together and the doctor brings them results out there and you find out you got something you've been hiding for a long time.
Yeah, and I want to add this, and then we're gonna move on. There was a young lady, I don't remember her name, but I got my shows set up for each Monday. We're gonna react to it. Okay. But there was a young lady went to college, beautiful black lady. Oh my God, she was gorgeous. And she slept with a married professor, I think. And the married professor gave her something she couldn't get rid of. He gave her that get back. He gave her the Magic Johnson 2.3.
The house in Virginia.
Right. And when he gave her that, she found out about it. And guess what she did, guys? She didn't cry. She didn't get upset. She went around campus because she was fine. She went around the campus, and every man that showed her some attention, she gave it to him.
Yeah.
She walked around. Oh, you want some? Oh, you sure? Oh, you talking up on me? You can get it. And then she did her friend videoed her, recorded her talking about it. That's how they got her. Because her friend was like,
was that the one with the bonnet on her head?
Yes, That's her friend snitched on her. Friend recorded her talking about it, and she said any man that showed any interest, she gave it to him. Right? Had sex with him and gave it to this man, gave it to this guy, gave it to this guy. She just spreading it. She said, I've slept with basketball players that are going to the NBA. I've slept with future lawyers. I've slept with doctors. Anybody that come up on me in a club or a bar, I give it to them because of what the man gave me.
Shout out to P. Diddy. Take that.
So again, when Mandrell say you don't play games like that, can you imagine this woman just make you feel like she wants you, but she only doing it to give you a disease? But anyway,
yeah, no, the disease they gave it, like, is it the
it's the H.
It's the financial AIDS?
No.
Is that the financial AIDS?
No.
You don't get that no more if you go to the doctor at an earlier time.
No.
Right.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But okay, it's the HIV.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All the same. That's a death sentence. So, no.
So guys, thank you guys for being here tonight, panel.
I think Ronan has something.
Oh, Ronan, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because this is a personal experience and I don't even speak about it too much. But in context, the conversation has to. And me and a buddy, which you got to talk about that bum. All he had was charisma, but he had mamas at 27. So we ended up going to business doing a retail clothing store, and he let it be known his sister liked me. Now, I didn't like his sister like that. I thought she was cool, but I let it be known I don't fuck with you like that. We can chill, but ain't nothing physical gonna happen with us. So while we were celebrating the idea of us opening our own business, I just drank some shit till I didn't eat and sit there and absorb the shit. And it was some strong liquor. So I went to lay down and rest. Come to find out she snuck into the room, burnt me by giving oral sex. And then I'd never had an STD before. So then I went and she knew I was messing with somebody else. So she ended up getting infected. So I had to take her to get cleared up. And again, it was not only embarrassing, but it had me, panicking and shit like that because I was at work and didn't know what the fuck was going on. Then comes to find out I had chlamydia. Now, the thing is, when I went back to the house, I found out in her medicine cabinet, she had that shit for more than 6 months.
Damn.
One. Number two, when I showed her the manila folder and told her, like, this will never happen again, it's taking everything to stop flipping this fucking table on your ass. I told her brother what happened. And he said, what she burn you with? I said, chlamydia. He said, I had that 3 times. So that lets you know.
It don't mean nothing to them.
It don't mean nothing to them.
It don't mean nothing to them because there's medicine to cure it.
Yeah.
Some people it doesn't mean anything to them. It's no big deal to them. But, bruh, I mean, you're playing a dangerous game with that kind of stuff, man.
But guess what, Mandrell? The young kids today, even my daughter, she's 19 and she's in college. My daughter said, when people talk about STIs now, she said people be like, I don't give a fuck. Like she said, a girl can be like, I got hurt. The dude can say, I got hurt. They be like, oh, okay, that's fine. She said it's just like normal. It's normalized.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, and JT and E-Man and Dusto can vouch for me on this, and so can DL. In the Army, bruh, herp was epidemic.
Wow.
Epidemic, bruh.
Yeah,
Catch
that
stay on
Herb,
base.
yeah, man, yeah. Herb in the Army, good. Everybody had it. It seemed like it.
You
Am
got
I
to stay
right,
on
E-Man?
base,
Am I right,
man.
E-Man?
Yeah, don't
Yep.
mess around with
It seemed,
nobody
yeah,
on post.
bro. It's so many people had it. It's like, does anyone? Am I the only one who doesn't?
Look,
You
Now,
know, it's like
I want to pause for a second. Raise your hand if you serve the country on this panel. I want to say thank you guys for y'all service, man. I want to just recognize you guys because you guys were here tonight. I appreciate your service, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the conversation, guys. You see the title tonight. Information Man started this conversation. He'll be here a little bit later. We buy what we want and beg for what we need. We had a powerful, powerful show on Tuesday where information came in with that. And it just, man, he brought it down. And one of the examples he used is that men can go out and buy Jordans. We can, as a people, we can go out and buy Jordans. We can go buy cars. We can go buy a $200 pair of shoes. And it's $45 for our son that's 9 and can't read to get tutoring. And then we beg the state, hey, can we get free tutoring?
no, he'll be all right. I gotta get these
yeah, he'll be
Jordan.
all right.
I gotta get these J's.
Absolutely. So I want to have a conversation tonight with you guys about this ongoing. And you always know I like to start with balance first. So I want to have Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, what's your thoughts when it comes to we buy what we want and beg for what we need? And one of the examples before you go, one of the examples is the whole Deion Sanders situation. Deion Sanders, you see Diddy, you see LeBron, you see all these billionaires or multimillionaires saying that, he shouldn't have left, he should have stayed. But my thing is, y'all buying Bentleys, y'all buying these big old mansions, y'all buying $300 million. Diddy got a $300 million yacht that's just big as Cowboy Stadium, right? And my thing is, why can't you take some of that money and invest it in Jackson State, right? You could have, because since y'all were complaining, you could have said, why he leave? Why he leave? He shouldn't have done it. He should have stayed there. Should have been black. Why not? Why not say, you know what? I'm Diddy. This LeBron. Do you know our presence at these games, or our presence for a financial standpoint, can build this school to something that HBCUs have never seen before?
I want to go after Mr. Bennett also because I got something for this Deion Sanders thing.
Yeah. So the whole thing is, Deion Sanders gave part of his salary to this school, Jesus, and so one of the guys in the organization at Jackson reached out to these celebrities, and nobody returned his call. But they complained when he left to go somewhere that had financial stability to help young men get what they need. So, and then they went over to, when Trump was in office, they went into office begging for funding for HBCUs. And Deion was like, right. Yeah, it's crazy. So, Mr. Bennett, what are your thoughts, man? We'll start with you first.
I think it's just a lack of priorities, and it's a lack of priorities. It's a lack of financial education, and it might be. I think even an esteem.
What's up, black man?
I mean, it's like I remember seeing an article of how most millionaires live, and contrary to popular belief, most don't go around showing that they're millionaires. It's like you got millionaires who will drive that 2014 car that you were talking about in the video.
Right.
They're just not trying to let everybody know that they are. But in our community, look, I get the idea, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear community, but with a lot of us, we're taken by the showy, the flashy, the cars, the jewelry, whatever. We so much of what we consider success is consumerism versus building wealth, building legacy, transferable. So I think a lot of it is the miseducation. I do think some of that is systematic, but just how we look at ourselves and what we value is sadly missing. So I think all of those come into play, and where they get us thinking that we got that whole thing switched, that our wants are our needs and our needs are our wants. And so, when we see the Jordans, we're like, oh, I need them. And I got to fight it, even in my home with my daughters, I got to fight them sometimes. No, you don't need that. You want that. Now, if you want it, then you're going to have to do what you got to do to save up the bread or work extra or whatever you need to do to get it, because it's not coming from us. My wife and I, we took our kids off the payroll at 16. As soon as
Dang.
they were able to get jobs, y'all got to work for what you want. We'll
I
give you
like
the
that.
we'll give you the needs. We give you food and shelter, and we pay for your education. But anything else that you want, now that's coming out of your dime. Even your hair. You want your hair done now? We'll make sure your stuff is good. But if you want the braids or the whatever, now you're paying for that. So, so I think that's something that really the miseducation of us is I think what's really at play here. But I think at the heart of it is it's just us. For many of us, we see our value in things,
Mhm.
and value should always be in people and relationships.
All right, so Mandrell, what are your thoughts, man?
My thoughts is I have no sympathy nor empathy nor compassion for any HBCU out there. They can all burn in seven hells. Everything wrong with HBCUs are the HBCU's fault and theirs alone. Every single HBCU that I've either visited, and I even attended one as a student, lived in the dorms and the whole nine. Rats in the dorms, roaches in them, and they had the money to fumigate and hire fumigators to get rid of the pest control, get rid of pests and things like that. They refuse to spend the money on it. They refuse to do it. They'll have donors, boosters come and donate tons of dough to this school. And let's not forget that the endowments that they get, even though they're less than white schools, it's still enough to pay all of the bills to include professors' salaries. So there's no real need to charge tuition, but they charge tuition anyway. So what are you doing with the money? You're clearly not reinvesting it back into the campus. So you do anything wrong with these schools, you did it to yourself. You can't ask me. Don't ask me for a dime. I ain't sending you nothing. You did it to yourself, and I see what you do. The president's wife of Alabama A&M University, when I was attending there, she was paid $50,000 to teach a class to the ROTC students. Right? 7 years passed. She didn't pay that. She never taught the class. But all of a sudden, they're like, okay, give us the money back. That whole thing. What are you doing with the money? These schools are not reinvesting that money back into these campuses. And then let's not forget that Jackson State cheated Dion out of a ton of money they owed him. They didn't pay him what they agreed to pay him. Okay?
Yeah, they agreed to give him $500,000. He ended up getting $3 million, and then he donated $200,000 to the school.
Exactly. And then he's supposed anytime the stadium got like 80% capacity or whatever, 30% capacity, he get a portion of the gate.
Right.
That stadium was jam-packed full, a sold-out stadium.
You're right.
Week after week after week, game after game, and then when he looked at the numbers, we only sold 20,000 tickets, but there's 60,000 people there. But it was a way to screw him out of his money. So I have no sympathy for you, black schools. If you all close down or fall to the same fate as Morris Brown, it's your fault. And it's a crying shame because Bethune-Cookman is right on the heels of Morris Brown to fall into nothing.
Let me add to that, man. You're 100% right, brother. Let me add to that. When it comes to the whole HBCU thing, I like what Dion is doing. Dion left Jackson State, took half of the coaching staff with him. He opened up and shared the salary of those coaching staff. He said these men are working every day that ends with a Y. He said, and some of them get off work and go work night shifts some places just to make ends for their family. He said one of his assistant coaches was making $40,000, and he's at the stadium every day, preparing men, preparing defense, preparing this, doing this. He said that's horrible. He said now he took him over to Colorado. He's making $125,000 a year. Look at that jump.
Right, and the thing is, so instead of taking the new position that Deion Sanders left that school in, because the conditions he left them in far superior to what they were.
Exactly.
So instead of taking that new status and leveraging it properly, so they can do proper recruiting to the football program, they do? They whine and complain because you want someone to do it for you. You don't want to do the work.
But they already have somebody doing it for him, Mandrell. Did you hear what Dion did for Jackson State?
What?
Dion said, a part of me coming to Colorado a percentage of our ticket sales, we want to donate it to Jackson to keep them afloat. They agreed.
Here's the thing. Above and beyond this guy, a class act.
Yes, sir.
Stand up dude, Deion
Yep.
Sanders.
Yep.
But you can't make Negroes happy, and you know it.
Right. Yeah.
You can't make Negroes happy. Most of us want things done for us. And if you don't do it for us, you complain about it. And it's a shame because they rob themselves out of such self gratification, that feeling of accomplishment. When you accomplish something, you get something done.
Oh, somebody! Everybody mute up.
Andrew.
Hey Mo, mute up real quick, Mo. Yeah, it was Mo.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but like I said, that feeling of accomplishment when you accomplish something, how much pride you feel with, you know what I'm saying? People rob themselves with that, and it motivates you to go out there and accomplish more.
Yeah,
because you want that rush again, the rush of accomplishment again. And again, I got nothing. But if they fall apart and go under, they get what they deserve.
And now let's do this. Let's do DL Saint. And then we'll go around. Well, Dusto, we'll let DL Saint. Give me just a second. We're gonna go around in a circle so it won't be mismatching. Dusto, DL Saint, Ronan, what we know, Hink, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, Dusto.
I don't know. Real life, I really don't have these conversations. People asking about what I'm doing with my money, and you should buy this, you should do that. You think you seen trolling on these panels? Let's seem like I wouldn't have them conversations with me in real life. I take trolling to a whole nother level, and these people don't want to talk to me. Stuff with them wicked women doing all this stuff, they don't talk to me. People need to make decisions. Hey, I'm not dealing with that. And take the time to be dealing with something else. Being called sellout and all that, that's grounds for trolling. But I don't have them conversations in real life. Those people who smell anything like that, I don't want to be within 100 meters of them. So ain't nothing to talk about other than some of this trolling you see on the dust panels.
So do you think that do you agree with the title of the show, that we buy what we want but we beg for what we need? And if so, give me an example of what you've seen.
I don't agree with the we part. Those who want to take your money and go get gold teeth rims and Jordans, y'all go do that. Don't keep my name out of that. Go for it. That ain't what I'm doing.
Right.
But I take care of what I need, then I take care of what I want.
Right.
But I've done the work to do that. I wear what I want. And I actually have somewhere to wear stuff too. I can buy the shoes I want to wear, but I ran 3 miles today. I got a purpose for wearing those shoes. There's a reason I got some nice shoes on, because I'm doing something.
Right.
But I don't have conversations with people about my money, what I do, my time with me. Because if they're not coming with me, doing something productive or whatever, what are we talking about? And people who ain't doing nothing don't like talking to people who are doing something.
No, you're right.
Talk to them. Man, the system, no, man, we got to hear about it. All right, cool. I tell you what, meet me in the gym. Let's talk about it. The number you've dialed has been disconnected. Hey man, the weight, man, the job. All right, I tell you what, let's meet over here and talk about. I got this book I want you to check out. I want you to check out this internet site. Never hear from him again.
A book? What am I gonna do with a book?
Well,
no, Andrea, you want to get rid of a woman? Ask her to meet you in the gym. Never hear from her again.
You won't.
So let me hold on. Let's not derail, guys. Let me get DL Saint. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, I'm looking at an article, Forbes, and I'm not going to read the entire article, but basically, they're saying back in 2019, black households expenditures totaled $835 billion. Like, and when you combine all spending by black households, you're looking at $1.4 trillion. $1.4 trillion. Right? 1.4 trillion black people spending that kind of money. That's more money than Spain, Mexico, the Netherlands, Turkey, Switzerland. That's more money than those countries generate annually. Black folks are spending. We make up like 10% of the consumer base in America. So why are black people saying we don't have money for anything? Because we're spending this kind of bread. We're 10% of all money spent. Just black folks spend 10% of the entire country's expenditures. Come on now.
And we're only 13% of the population.
We're only 13% of the population.
And we spend 10% of the money, you know.
I recommend guys.
But wait a minute, isn't that proportionate?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No.
Wait a minute. If we're 13% of the population spending 20%, then that's proportionate.
Here's why it's not proportionate. It's about how long does your money circulate in your community?
Oh, that's a different question.
It's tied into it. That's why we spend so much money on. That's why we spend per capita. That's why our community spends so much more of our money on nonsense. It's not something we need.
Our money lasts 6 hours.
6 hours in our community.
The better number.
So where the money goes is a different story. But what you're spending your money on may differ from community. And I would certainly agree that we may spend more of our money on non-essentials, but the money's still being spent in proportion to what we have. Or in this case, it's less than what we have.
The wealth is only 4%.
Now look at Queen Smiley.
13%, but they only own 4% of the wealth. That's unproportionate.
Yeah. Now Queen Smiley says men buy what they want, but beg for the things that they need because by the time they realize what they need, the resources are exhausted. She went on to say again, priorities are just jacked. Why you think they gave us that stimulus money? We would dump it back into other people's hands. And then she went on to finish off and say, and the money don't go into our community. Now, I did listen to a guy. I was watching Roland Martin the other day. He had a guy on his show that was talking about that. He said, look at other races of people. He said, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, that's a real true Chinese restaurant, how many black people are working there? He said they keep the money within their own families, their own community. He said that, they don't outsource. They take care of their own selves.
Yeah, they do. They hire Mexicans to do it.
Well, and
that is true.
Look in the kitchen. Look in the kitchen. It's a bunch of Mexicans cooking Chinese.
Not in the Chinese places I go to. It's all Chinese people. Every Chinese place I go to.
It's a bunch of Mexicans back there in that kitchen, man.
Dominican Republic, Chinese people cooking.
Yeah,
or Chinese restaurant, Dominicans in the back, and they speaking street Dominican Spanish to them back in the back working.
Wow.
They are outsourcing. That is true.
Yeah, they are outsourcing now.
The Italians are also.
But here's the deal.
Italians are outsourcing.
Chinese places, they own everything and their family isn't there working.
Okay.
Lower class, they outsource it.
Now, cool. Let me say this real quick. Take a quick break because, man, we cooking tonight. I did want to say this at the beginning of the show. Guys, thank you for being here. The people that are watching, hit the like button, subscribe button, share this with someone, please. We appreciate it. It helps with the channel to continue to grow. If you want to give, please give. Black Men Unfiltered. Cash App at the bottom. If you want to join the network, please join. And if you want to send a super chat, do that as well. I did want to tell you guys this at the beginning of the show. We as content creators, we hear a lot of things and we bring them to the table like we're doing tonight. One of the things I want to bring up tonight is that there was this young lady not young lady, she's probably late 40s, almost 50, 49, I think. And she had this young guy with her and she was talking on camera. And she says these words: "This is my man. Yes, he's younger than I am. Yes, he's in his 20s. And he's 21. I think he's 20 or 21. And she said, me and him been, I think she said they've been talking for a while. She had a first, she can't be 49 because I think I got it wrong. Anyway, she said she had a first baby with him at 41. She had her second baby with him at 43. Right? And a young guy's in the video with her. She said, but we have to be mindful of the mistakes we make, because sometimes those mistakes we make come back full circle and it can hurt us. She said, I just found out that the man that I have my children with was my son I gave up at 15 years old to adoption.
You made that up.
I have it. I'll send it to you.
You just made that up.
Swear to God.
Yo, send me the link to that, man. That is a crazy story.
Yeah.
That's what you get. That's what you get, lady. Good for you.
She had sex with her son. She gave up when she was 15 years old. Bruh, she was distraught. She was out of there.
Wow. That is crazy.
That's hilarious. Talk about coming back full circle.
That's what I just said. Dusto, who was just talking? Who was just talking just now? Was it you, DL? What are your thoughts on that? You can finish your thoughts, but go into that as well. I just want to get you on the end on that because I know you got something to say on that.
I mean, it just sounds like slavery again, bro.
Yeah, buck breaking. Well, not buck breaking. They called it something else.
Nah, but you know how
something else.
They take your children away from you, sell it to another plantation, and then 20 years later they bring this stud to the plantation. They master put them wind up putting them with the mom.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, they would do it knowingly and unknowingly. What they would do is they bag to keep from resistance. They would bag the male's head, and they would bag the mom's head, and they would allow them to. This is where
the word mother effer comes from. The phrase mother effer. This is actually the origin of it.
Exactly.
Because some of those kids would come back to their plantation and bag their heads, and they
have sex with their mom.
Sometimes it was their mom. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the kids would come out ill-informed, right? And so they sell them by the dozen, and that's where the phrase "cheaper by the dozen" comes from. The kids with birth defects, they sell them by the dozen because it was cheaper to buy them in bulk like that.
Wow.
And they have to go work in a mine somewhere. And that's where they spent their life, toiling in a mine until they died.
It also meant horses also.
Yeah. Did you guys know? I'm going to say this, just a well-known fact, then we get back to it, DL Saint, and then we'll go on to Ronan. Did you guys know that the original Levi's jeans had a slave in the middle of both horses? They said Levi jeans were so strong, it could break a nigga. And it had both horses headed out like this here with the slave in the middle tied to both horses.
And they're talking about the logo, yeah.
Yeah, the logo, yeah. Whew, that's tough. But go ahead.
And Levi Strauss was a Jewish man.
Oh. Hey, leave that alone before they come get us. They coming.
My bad.
Hey, DL,
yo, they coming for us.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just horrible where we are, bro. I can't help but I think it was Patrick Bet-David sent out a tweet, and he was talking about the destruction of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
And I just can't help to think that this is one of the major reasons. I mean, the story you just told, because I'm like, man, if that's true, that's a crazy story. But if that individual involved believed in the nuclear family, it probably wouldn't have happened, right?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
She would have had a husband, no need to give up the child or whatnot. I mean, yeah, people can argue, well, maybe they did this and maybe that. But if she was married in a nuclear family, she wouldn't be out there looking for some young dude, you know what I mean, some young joystick for that old Foxy Brown. So again, a lot of it, again, like I said, yo, I'm your friend, I'm your friendly neighborhood heathen. You know what I mean? I know I ain't in this church like that, but I know the stories. There's a lot to be said about that. If you want to live righteous, you can avoid all these things. And when I look at these old texts, I look at it from that lens. This was the wise people, the leaders of that world, trying to keep people from making these type mistakes. And they put it in the book. If I tell you not to do it, you're going to be like, man, forget you, DL Saint. But if God told you not to do it, if God said that you should enter into this covenant, if God said the man is the house, all this stuff comes from God, then most people tend to do it, but everyone's coming away from God. Like people are like me. Like, a lot of people just don't believe. They're coming away from the church. You know what I mean? Again, the nuclear family is going away. It's going away. I want to say, like, I read somewhere 18% of American households are nuclear family today in America.
Yeah, but you don't need church to have a nuclear family. I believe in the nuclear family. See, you're the friendly neighborhood heathen. I'm a heathen as well, but I'm nowhere near friendly nor neighborly about it. I'm unapologetic about mine. Okay, I live in reality, not fairy tales and stories for children. So,
and I'm not pushing that. All I'm saying, I was just wanted to draw the contrast.
Right. And the thing is,
there was
that time. Yeah, because church did hold people together to its credit, but now that's become something else entirely, and that's why men are leaving it. I mean, and a lot of men have left church because of what it has turned into today.
I'm excited now, though. We got a music break coming. Black man.
We do.
I see your super chat. You muted, black man.
Yeah, I wasn't saying nothing, but yeah, we gotta let's see here what we got. We got take heed to the message. $5. We never invest in our community. We will buy from another community first, no matter the cost. All right, guys. Y'all want to go to the dojo? Let's go to the dojo. Here we go. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. I appreciate you.
Takes a lot of practice to do that shit. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, that's some nice stuff. That's fire.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So let's get Ronan, man. What are your thoughts on the subject for tonight, my brother?
I definitely agree with it because our priorities are screwed up. We're not trained to financially fix the mistakes that we're groomed into. We like instant gratification. We're slaves of it. We gotta look fly in front of everybody. Gotta wear our wealth in front of everybody. Meanwhile, you have a condo with a bunch of milk crates and an air mattress in there. So when people move around as they move, you're not thinking about the long term, establishing a trust, building things like communal stores, things of that nature. Even investing in ourselves. Don't hire each other. So all we leave when we pass on is dick, debt, and dandruff. That's my opinion.
Hey, man,
I was in Dallas
Where do you get these,
over the holidays.
Oh, you forgot dust.
Yeah, and dust. But I was in Dallas over the holidays, right?
4 Ds.
And the gentrification was awesome. It was like watching somebody it was like a fade, right? Like, see if you got a haircut like a fade. It was like there's a house here, a shot house next door. White women in workout clothes walking down the street. Like it is no, it's like, I was like, the hood is right here, literally, right? But then it down in the hood portion, you see guys. I was with my lady, and we saw this guy in a Dodge, a Challenger. What you call that? The Hellcat. And so she's like, "You see that?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "He'd be the type of dude that lives in a shot house but have a car like that." And so we driving down the road, we see these shot houses, and they did indeed. I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing to her, but they had nice cars in the driveway.
You see it all the time. There's these broke dudes that have these nice cars. They have the 20-inch rims. They got the spinners and everything, but their house is so excuse my language, but shitty. It's so crazy.
Right, it was wild. It was wild, man.
Go ahead, Ronan.
They don't own that house either.
Well, let's say like, this is why I don't refer to what we have as communities. I call them ethnic outposts.
Mm-hmm.
You're just on your own. Kids are out there wandering around. You got kids running around with loose pit bull puppies or whatever. You got guys you said like with Hellcats, and they live in a shithole or a trap house. Again, there's no pride in the community, no pride in themselves. It's just, let me go front for the gram, and then this is what you got.
That's real talk, brother Ronan. I mean, anybody who's really hood will agree with this statement I'm about to make. The flyest dude in the spot, right? You go into whatever club, the flyest dude got on all the J's and whatever brand, whatever's going on. If that's your man, you was with him before y'all went to the club, you in the shitty house, bedroom, beds all messed up, roaches everywhere. He going in the closet, pulling out all his clothes, right? Everything he got, every dime he got is invested in these clothes. But like we're living in this this horrible, horrific situation, that's how we get down. Some of us. I mean, that's we grow out of. Some of us grow out of it. Some of us never don't. But that's definitely a problem.
All right. So, JT, man, what are your thoughts, brother?
First and foremost, man, I gotta say, Ronnie, man, you like the YouTube E40. Minus the dialect. He be making that shit up for real, bro. That's just dope as hell.
That's a gift.
That's a gift, bro. Most definitely. But my partner Rob did a story. He did a video on a woman that had a son that got to the 12th grade, and that son had a GPA of 0.08. He missed entire semesters, and she was complaining that the school failed her son.
Yeah, I saw that, brother.
While she was complaining and rubbing him on the back, telling him everything's gonna be all right, we gonna get through this, he's sitting there playing, guess what, y'all?
Madden.
PS5.
Fortnite.
Why does he have a PS5? Why does he have a PS5?
Because
he's not going to school. He's not going to school.
Because it is what it is. It's
PS5 is $500.
Yeah.
What happens
I know. I
is
bought one
that,
a couple weeks ago.
I got one.
Yeah. But what happens is that you got people that, again, they will pay for what they want and beg for what they need. So her whole thing was to, because what she really wanted to do, because she was complaining about it, she wanted to sue the Board of Education. That's basically what that shit was. But at the end of the day, that goes directly on her. How do you even go a half a semester not knowing that your son missed 50 days? His overall GPA was a 0.08. In the 12th grade, that's what it revealed to. They're talking about sending him back to the 9th grade. There's no going back to the 9th grade.
What?
You have to go to night school. You have to get a GED.
What was the damn truancy officer at?
Where was the right?
And
it doesn't exist in a lot of communities.
And
it
guess
hasn't
what?
existed since the 90s, since the late 90s. Truant officers just getting paid to be employed, city employees. That's all that shit was.
Now I want to say this real quick. Hank brought up something about the truancy officer. I just said this on the show the other night. We were talking about truancy. The school that my kids attend, they had a major meeting, and they were telling the parents, I know y'all saying y'all dropping these babies off, but we don't see them. They have a severe truancy problem at the school, and my kids go to a real nice school. Those kids, when they get dropped off, they disappear. They either getting picked up by somebody, they either leaving, they're walking somewhere. It's a store. Mandrell's been here. He knows where it is. There's a store right across the street where they can go to the store. Walmart's right down the street. And they're just everywhere. My
but why would they walk that far to Walmart though?
No.
It's not a long distance, but you're gonna hoof it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's not far to drive at all. But
the kids are failing in a major way, bro. And it's like they don't want to be there. But let me tell you what I did.
Well, who wants to go to school, black man? I mean,
well, you absolutely. Well,
some of these places need to partner with the schools and put the kids out of. I mean, that's what we do with my son's school. Like you said, there's a Dollar General, there's a gas station, a liquor store, and the school partner with them. Hey, if you see any kids in here around the school time and school hours, you put them out. Don't let them come to your store. And so that's one way you can probably resolve some of that bullshit. But other than that, I don't understand this, because if you miss so many days, it falls on the parent. The parent has to go to court and to address that situation.
Exactly.
So I don't know why that's not enforced.
Like school,
that could be definitely enforced.
Yeah, but this is another thing that they also have. Also, I know when my kids was in school, they had basically all of their stuff was on the internet. So you had, when it comes down to it, when I wanted to see my kids' progress, I don't care when it was, that progress, it could be the last the last thing that they turned into the teacher. That teacher had to turn all of that stuff in. Like they had to go over that, you know, what they call it, that plan, the teacher's plan that they have to have.
A syllabus.
No, it's the teachers. The thing was with these teachers literally were being watched real carefully. So when it comes down to text, when it comes down to emails, when it comes down to plans, when it comes down to anything that those teachers had to do with those students, they were on them. And those teachers, they will end up getting reprimanded or even lose their job if they're not on it. And the reason being was because the schools that my kids went to, there wasn't no 30 kids. There was no 28, 25 kids. There was basically in each classroom, there was probably, the max was probably about 18. You know, and these schools were all concentrated on actually being able to get in college and or get a career, not a job, a career. That's what these schools were based off of. So if you wanted to go into accounting, right? By the time you're in the 10th grade, you'll be taking college courses.
Yeah.
College courses.
My daughter's in that program right now.
It's like a career technical center, right?
Yeah, here in Dallas, it's called P-Tech. My daughter's in that. So when my daughter graduates high school, she'll get her diploma and she'll have an associate's degree.
You know who put that together? The community put that together.
Mm-hmm.
They put that together. It was the parents were hard on the school itself, the body of the school. Then you had the superintendents. They were hard on the principals and all of them, and the principals were hard on the teachers, and the teachers were hard on the students. It was a chain of command, or however you do it. It was a domino effect,
right.
And they ended up getting great results from that. And to this day, they still got great. And it's a lot of, still bullshit in the middle of it, but man, that's what they do, and that's what they started with. And a lot of these schools, when I tell you the graduation rate, 99%. So that 1% probably went to another school or something like that.
Yeah. Damn. So, all right, man. Appreciate you, JT. Let's get Hink in here, man. What's your thoughts? When it comes to, we buy what we want, but we beg for what we need.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We invest into the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
We definitely do that. We don't. The sad part about it, my ex was HR manager, which she still is. But she was telling me how some of these young kids will go their job and they don't want to get health insurance, dental insurance, or they don't want to invest in 401k or 457 or nothing like that because they wanted all the money. They don't want to invest none of their money into that. That makes no sense to me. None at all. And these are, 21-year-old kids or young adults. Let me say that. I don't want to insult them with that. 21-year-old young adults. Of course, we know they're covered under their parents' insurance until about 26. But then after that, they just rather go without insurance. That's what she said. She said, you understand that you can no longer be on your parents' insurance after 26. They willing on going without insurance and just taking a chance because they feel like they're invincible. And that doesn't make sense. My son right now already know about investing and what to invest in and how to save money, how to balance a checkbook, all of that. I taught him. I'm not going to rely on the school to teach him because we shouldn't rely on school to teach us about finance as long as we got people in our family who has the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? To me, I think them kids are in school way too long. 8 hours to be in school is way too long. To me, to the max a kid should be in school is 4 hours. They should only be going to school for English, science, and math. That's it. Everything else should be taught at home by your parents or somebody who has the knowledge.
I agree with that.
That fourth hour could be for anybody who's struggling in class. They could use that fourth hour to go to tutoring. Maybe send them home with a sack lunch so they can at least have something to eat every day.
And you know what, Hank, you sound just like Elon Musk, bro. He said the same thing. He said these kids, the mind these kids have now and how eager they are and how more intelligent they are than we were when we were kids. He said that kids should not be in school that long. He said 8 hours is like prison time. He said they should not be there. He said all of them are walking around with supercomputers in their hands all day, right? Which are their cell phones. He said he said you should be teaching kids the basic things. And then he said, once you teach them those basic things, get them into coding, get them into STEM. And he said, start teaching them something that the future will hold for them. He said, teaching them all these 1,800 steps in math and all this stuff, it's not going to help them when they get older. They're never going to use it.
Well, the problem is we're teaching them for a test. We're not teaching them for the knowledge.
Exactly, bro. That's
all we're doing.
It's a fact.
So when we get them class, they only have to be there until 11:30. And then they get paid for a full day. So each child in the seat, that's $1,500 a child.
Yeah.
$1,500 a child. That's what most of these schools are getting.
Woo.
So that's why you'll never have any teachers you heard complaining about they don't have the right to discipline the kid. You can't even suspend a kid anymore. It's got to be real egregious. You have to bring a weapon to school in order to suspend a child. Other than that, they could fight. They will not suspend them. They put them in school detention or they put them in detention because they want them in school because they know they're going to get paid. If you're in detention, now you're still in school. Yes, sir.
You was breaking up a little bit, but I'm gonna say this: with my kids being in school and young, so my kids, my oldest daughter's 19. I'm gonna leave her out, but the rest of my kids are from 15 to 10. So I'm at the PTA meetings. I'm going to sit down with the teachers, right? Because that's what we do here. And so when you go in the classroom, let me tell you something. And you know, this may be a little funny, and I'm trying to be because we need to have a little laugh here. When I walk into class, I looked at my wife. My wife said, "Go ahead and say it." I say, "Baby, that teacher, I see why my son ain't learning shit." Like I walk into class, she on a tablet, right? Or she on Facebook, or she on Instagram, she on Snapchat. But not only that, these teachers are in their 20s. My son, 15 years old, when he get up in the morning, his dick is hard as a barbecue grill on the 4th of July. And so I know my son is looking at women, and these teachers are fine. My wife said, "Yeah, these teachers don't look like they did when we was growing up." I said, "They do not."
Black man, they fine and they fucking them little boys.
They are.
Somebody had to say it.
You're absolutely correct. And when I walked into class, I said, "Oh, whoa, wait up." I said, "Ma'am, whoa." I didn't know what to say. I'm expecting an older lady, 50, 55, 60, not no short, curly hair, thick, built like Serena.
Miss Crabtree.
Well, they can't afford them. They can't afford them older teachers you're talking about because they don't want to pay the teachers like they should be paid.
Yeah,
so they price them out. I could go to the private sector and tutor and make way more money than I am sitting in this classroom for 8 hours to teach you little badass bastard kids. So.
Right. Yeah. So
you know they ran all the men out of teaching, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a whole different story though.
Hey, brother Hank, I bet you get suspended for not using the correct pronoun. I bet you suspend you for that shit.
They won't.
Oh, don't even get me started on that damn thing. Freaking teachers' priorities are not straight either.
So what's
they won't.
What are your thoughts, Mo?
My thoughts are we need to start teaching financial literacy at a young age. I don't care how old they are. If they're mature enough to talk, they're mature enough to actually balance out money. I was talking to my son about finance when he was 5 because I would give him an allowance. I'll be like, "Yo, put this in your piggy bank and do not touch it. Because if you touch it, I'm going to hurt you." And I would pull his ear, put it. I will whoop my kid's ass. I don't care.
Oh my God! Wait, go ahead.
My parents are the same way, man.
Hell yeah!
I learned how to balance a checkbook at 11.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And piggy banks and stuff before then. Learning how to balance a checkbook. Learning how to save money. Learning how to invest it. You know what was a 401k? I learned it it's like 12.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and also,
Well, yeah, as long as a
and
kid
also,
in the ad, he can learn about finances. As
right,
long as he can
yeah,
add, that's all
and
he
not only
needs. Yeah.
that, you know,
right.
you have to let them learn the hard way as well, because you don't want them to make the same mistakes as you made. You don't want to have credit cards and then rack up a whole entire bill, and you're wondering, why do I have all this interest? Well, because you took out a loan. Credit cards are just like loans. You have to pay that money back. So that's why you have to talk to these kids early, because they're not going to show them at school, and then they're going to rack up all this debt, like student loan debt, and they want to depend on the government to help them, which, you know, that's part of the conversation. They want to beg the government to help them, but they don't want to take the steps to help themselves.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate
Hey,
that. So let's get E Man in here because Mandrell's didn't get
Mm-hmm.
camera. E Man, what are your thoughts, man? I
Give
saw
him
you
the floor.
your head.
He hasn't spoken all day, so give him the floor.
Yeah.
So y'all said a lot of information. I guess it's really
Everybody mute real quick. Yeah, because we got an echo.
y'all
Everybody
said a
mute, man.
lot.
Go ahead.
Y'all said a lot of information, and it was a lot to digest. So I just go backwards. So the first thing is I disagree with Hank. Kids should be in school for 8 hours. It's actually most kids will be employees, and they're going to be required to work an 8-hour shift. So it's almost showing them how to transition into the work world, right?
Hey, that's what it was, and that's what it was intended for, E Man. They put 8 hours in that school and put those kids in that desk. Back in the day, it was for them to go work at the plants or at the mining companies, right? So that was the intention for them to work in 8 hours. You know, it's just like a prison. Bell ring, you get in a straight line, you walk to get your food, you sit down, bell ring, you get back up, you go outside for recess, you come back. It's set up like a prison. It is. But go ahead, E Man.
So first you should work 8 hours because most people will be employees, and it's required really for you to take care of a family to work about a 40-hour shift, which is an 8-hour. Now,
But not everybody's working 8 hours, though,
I didn't
E-Man.
interrupt anybody. I didn't interrupt nobody.
Nobody's not working 8 hours, though, bro. Most employees don't work a full 8-hour shift. Nowadays, the full 8-hour shift is 30. But go ahead, brother.
E-Man, before you get back to cooking, I'm gonna say this. They did a study on how people that go into the office or people that's working, because work from home is the big thing now. But they put into terms of how many hours do people actually work when they're on the clock. They say the average amount of time people actually are working is 2 hours out of the 8-hour shift. That's crazy. It's almost like stealing company money.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
Definitely want to
E-Man.
hear E-Man cook, though. I want to hear E-Man cook.
Yeah.
I ain't agreeing with everything, but I do want to hear his perspective.
All right. So first, it is a programming so that you can go into the work world. If we take kids and we only allow them to work 4 hours, and then we push them to say, hey, you got to work 40 hours to take care of yourself because 20 hours is not enough, that they're mentally not going to be ready for that. Now, I do agree that we should reevaluate the curriculum. Now, we should be doing different things in those 8 hours. For example, we should be trying to teach them a trade. We should be trying to teach them if you want to go into HVAC or you want to go into this, or you plan on being a doctor or lawyer, maybe we can start knocking off some of those college classes in school, like in the Head Start program. So I agree that we do need to reevaluate, maybe doing some money management, but it can't be 4 hours because that's not realistic. Most people cannot take care of a family working 4 hours a day. All right. So then if we go back, I want to address this, the title, we buy what we want and we beg for what we need, right? I disagree with that statement all around. Maybe if y'all go to the hood or the projects, but most black men, since we're talking about black men, are in the middle class. And since we're in the middle class, we're taking care of the things that we need. Most of us got a roof over our heads. Our bills are paid. We're not in a situation, majority of us, that we're not paying for what I need. It is actually, I believe, a statement to kind of derail the black man, to say that the black man is not doing what he's supposed to do. We're taking care of what we need, and we also buy the things that we want. I don't know too many black men in my circle that are fathers that's taking care of their kids, and they walk around with Jordans and their kids are illiterate. So I think I can get it if we talking about the people in the projects, but in reality, that's in my opinion, it's just it's not a real statement. And the last thing I want to cover, when it comes down to when it comes down to these, you talked about the Deion Sanders thing. I know I missed some things, but I was just trying to catch the three big things.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
So when we talk about the Deion Sanders thing, first of all, I think LeBron James, Jay-Z, whatever other billionaire did the exact right thing. We shouldn't have been expecting them to come spend their money just because they're black. We got to stop setting the standard that you owe somebody something because you black, because we don't tell white people that they owe somebody something because they're white. So no, they don't have to come donate to this school. No, the reason they don't have to do it because it's not their obligation. Now, if this was their alma mater and they, like LeBron James ain't even go to college, but if he went to this college and he done made it, maybe since the school have invested in him, maybe he can invest back. We see Jordan do that with North Carolina all the time. But no, it's not their responsibility. Mandrell made a good point. If you got 60,000 people in the stadium and you only sold 20,000 tickets, somebody's robbing the school. And we know for a fact that this ain't something that just started. What we need to do is we need to clean up our own house. We need to, first of all, we might need to fire some people at these HBCUs and hire some damn white people. Maybe that's the answer. I promise you, if we start putting some white people in these HBCUs, maybe we wouldn't have all these problems. Maybe
Actually, it would get worse, but go ahead.
Hold on, you're right, but that
Exactly.
well, you say it's getting worse, but I feel like if I go hire the people at Colorado State, obviously they figured it out at these. But I'm not saying just hire anybody.
It would get worse.
I'm not saying hire just anybody, but we hire qualified people to be able to micromanage. I know black people don't like micromanage. Maybe we can start tracking. Well, because the ticket's about $40. So we're looking at 40,000 tickets. You talking almost $500,000 is going away a game. They got 11 games a year. We talking millions of dollars. Hello, like we really got to get to a mindset that we got to start checking ourselves, and we can't look for a bailout for a billionaire. So that's just my opinion on that.
Brother E-Man was
Okay.
cooking, yo.
Yeah, he was.
First
thing is, there's no such thing as a historical black college anymore anyway. Most of them is probably about 20% white. And then you talk about being ran. They're being ran by white people because they're being funded by the government.
Mm-hmm.
The government runs it. The government's white folks. So that's different. Kids being in school for 8 hours, their attention span won't allow most of these kids to go into school for 8 hours.
And can I put forth something on that 8-hour day? I would say, Brother E-Man, I would say for certain kids who are scholastically, on point, like these are kids we know gonna go to like a Ivy League school or something like that. Maybe those kids could be in for 8 hours. Total time if you break it up, maybe them. But I was with a 4-hour in school and then a 4-hour outside learning, either some sort of apprenticeship or just outside, hands-on learning. I think something like that would work. Brother E-Man, would you be opposed to something like that? Just real quick.
I would be opposed to it. We can't even get them to show up to school. You think we're gonna get them to show up to a damn apprenticeship program? Like just the idea. And I'm gonna be short.
Why do you want to put them in for 8 hours, but yet you just sit there and say they won't show up?
Let's hear him out. So we go. Let's hear him out.
Program.
See, we gotta stop babying these kids.
That's not babying.
Go
ahead.
Let
him go, Dusto. Let him go. Let's hear it. Let's hear this out.
Let him go. Let's hear.
Listen, if your child don't have an attention span that they can sit still at 8 hours, they need to sit still for 8 hours. This is a trait you have to know.
Nobody's child does that.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
many kids
Yeah.
I mean, kids can sit for 8 hours.
But
they're not. Nobody's kids doing it unless they're on the drugs. Now, if you got a drug, you might got a chance.
So what I'm saying is,
have you ever taught in the school before, E-Man? Have you ever taught in the school before?
Nope.
Have you ever taught kids? Okay, brother. I'm telling you.
I have taught
for 8 hours, 4 days, 5. Well, they usually average about 4 days, but it's 5 days a week. Have you done that?
Yes, I have spent a lot of time.
And you got them to sit there being attentive for 8 hours.
So first of all, they're not.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Hold on, no.
I understand that. They're going classroom to classroom.
You don't even let me answer the question.
I'm not.
You asked me a question.
Shit, because you ain't.
Do it. Like if you don't want to
Go
answer
ahead,
to
brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
See, the first thing you got to do with kids is you got to find a way to catch their attention. I'm not saying that the school. I'm not saying that the school don't have a problem, but we can't say that we just gonna let them go defend for themselves for 4 hours. Their parents are at work. Their parents are working at least 8 hours. Their parents are not at home.
Then you know what we need to do? We need to adjust. We need to make family more important than this work. That's the problem now. Women are at work along right there beside the men because they made it so important that men can't make enough money on an 8-hour schedule just themselves. That's a problem. These employers need to put family more first.
Well, can I put forth a suggestion? I would say this, brother E-Man. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. Could we agree that our current educational system does not work? And the reason, and I will hold that up against the rest of the developed world, right? We ranked towards the bottom when it comes to this, when it comes to education. And the biggest difference in the way we educate our children here in America versus in Europe is the 8-hour day and how we treat these kids and stuff like that. So could we agree that the way we're doing it right now isn't working and we definitely need to change something? And wouldn't it make sense to start there? Well, you know what? Let's try a 6-hour day. And then maybe we go down, because I see you shaking your head, but I mean, what? Because it seems we can't, the current system doesn't work.
Yeah,
and when it comes to,
we've had the same curriculum for 63 years. We did a show on this.
I'm agreeing with that. What I'm saying is, Mr. Bennett's trying to talk.
Mr. Bennett, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Actually, well, it's been hundreds of years, right? I think how we fashion our school system is to benefit us. It's to benefit the adults,
grown-ups,
the parents,
exactly,
military. Because again, remember back in the day, gym class was basically, preparing you for military service, or for the industrial work or the industrial line. So the whole educational system was about filling a pipeline for adult need, not necessarily focusing on the children.
Right, because in Cincinnati and Detroit, they were prepping us for working on the auto line, for getting into making cars, GM. Right, like Cincinnati, but down south they're getting them ready for the coal mines. Yep. So now
the whole thing with the summers, right? There's a reason why school ended in June. It wasn't so you can go to the beach over the summer, it was to work in the fields because that was your crop season, and then you came back in the fall. So that was again, it was to satisfy the agrarian economy.
But brother E-Man,
like where DL Saints from the industrial economy.
So DL Saint, I'm not making this up. If you look at one of the most successful schools on the earth, it's the Japanese school system. They go from 8:30 to 4:30, and they have between 2 to 4 hours of homework. You know why they do it?
Damn.
You know why they do it?
Follow closely by the Koreans.
They do it because the parents set the standard. You're supposed to be doing something for 8 hours. Like, why are we it is pacifying our kids to say you don't supposed to be able to sit still.
I actually agree with you, man.
Go ahead, Dustin.
No, I'm just saying I agree. But go ahead, keep cooking.
Just to say in Japan that's dying out?
No,
but I mean, but brother E-Man, I just did a quick Google search, right? I didn't even pull up but USA News. When you talk about best school system in the world, Sweden ranks number 1, followed by Denmark. Number 3 is Germany. Canada's number 4. Norway's number 5.
Canada.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is just real quick U.S. news. I'm not even sure. Let me pull it up real quick because I'm not even sure what year this came out. But just a quick Google search. Whenever you do like quick searches, the Japanese score higher and they're better at STEM. So like the South Koreans and the Chinese. But when you talk about overall system, they hardly ever rank in the top 5, top 10. And I'm no expert. I'm just an old man sitting in the talking to a computer.
But to add on that,
I can look this stuff up and see it.
Switzerland and Germany, they graduate from high school at 16 years old too.
Hey,
average.
Yeah.
So all you guys do that. Even if we go to the Canadian school system start at 9 and it ends at 9:30. They typically have about 2 hours of homework. Our kids come home with no homework. I agree that the curriculum need to change. First thing we need to do is we need to pay the teachers more. Because we can't
absolutely. I agree.
We can't expect somebody who's getting the bare minimum to do the best job. It doesn't work nowhere in the world. So the reason private schools typically have better scores, have better results, is because the teachers are making more money. So first is an income problem from the teacher point of view. And then
actually, most private schools pay less. Continue.
The next thing we need to do, now that I'm paying you more, I can have higher requirements of what I expect you to do in the classroom.
Okay.
And then what we need to do, have you been to a parent-teacher conference lately? Guess what? They say 3% of the parents actually show up. Parents need to get back involved in the education system on how their kids are being educated.
I'm on one of the committees at the school. Let me tell you about that now. I know Hank gonna back me up on this because he teach school too, and Dusto taught too. Half of the kids, when they have parent-teacher conference, those people are still at work. They're still at work, and they can't take off. They can't miss money. So a large percentage of those
and they can't even do a Zoom. They can't even do a Zoom.
It's not that they don't want to be there. It's that their job is requiring them to be at work.
But black man, again, I sit there and say it. The employees are putting too much in the stock and not a stock in their education, where they're forcing their employees to be there on a regular basis, like you said. And then another thing is, it's required for you to set up a time or try to appoint a time, even to do it online. Not everybody can afford internet. Not everybody can afford that.
Internet is free nowadays.
Yeah, you can
not in all places. It's not. You got some rural places that can't get it, man. Not everybody's in an urban community. You got some of the people living in the mountains of Kentucky. They don't have internet up there, dog. Not even good phone service.
Well,
so we can act like
out to Ypsilanti, Michigan.
And real quick, just real quick.
I understand, man. You got all the answers, bro. You're right.
Real quick. Let me say something real quick. Because there was another. I just. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say in 2021, Finland ranked number 3 in education in the world, and they go to school for 3.5 hours.
And I'm looking at Canada right now. I just put in what is a typical day, a school day in Canada. The school day consists of 3 hours in the morning, 9 to 12. A 1 hour break for lunch where you can leave school or eat in the canteen, like, at the school cafeteria,
right.
And 2 hours in the afternoon.
That's American school.
That's Canada.
Hours. No, that's not American
Canada.
school.
That's Canada.
That's Canada.
That's Canada.
That's 6 hours though.
Listen.
Thank you.
Listen.
That's 5 hours. That's 5 hours of instruction and 1 hour hour break.
Lunch. That's 6 hours.
And that's Canada. I just looked it up real quick. That's what I love about having these. Like, that's what I love about the internet.
You just sit there and told us a goddamn lie.
Well, if you share,
you made them do 12 hours. You said 9 to 9.
If you go to CanadaGod.com, it says.
Oh goddamn!
See,
you said 9 to 9, man.
I didn't say 9 to 9.
He might have misspoke. You did. You must have you just misspoke. It's all good, bro.
I didn't say 12 hours. Yeah, I was.
No, you misspoke. You misspoke.
Okay.
You said 9 to 9. That's 12 hours, brother. But okay, you misspoke. No problem. I got you.
So
go ahead.
The point that I'm making.
What's up, Freezy?
What's going on, my brother?
That we gonna stop giving our kids excuses for doing the things that they're their responsibility. The reason that a lot of these kids are handicapped today is because just like that video they was talking about earlier, a parent is making excuses on why their kid is not performing, why they're not doing the requirements. Like I don't understand.
That's the thing. That's the thing, brother. I agree with you. That is a thing.
So how do we combat? So I want to get everybody in here. How do we combat that though? That parents that are working 8-hour shifts that can't come to PTO meetings, they can't come to check on their kids. They just can't be there. They can't do Zooms. They can't do virtual.
Can I speak on that, black man?
Yeah.
Freezy.
What's going on, everybody? I want to encourage everybody. There's a great documentary that came out years ago called "Waiting on Superman." I don't know if you guys.
Sir. That's a great documentary. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that documentary actually breaks down everything we're talking about, and actually reports show that the most successful kids are taught at home. Homeschooling is really the best option.
You know what? You just stepped on my goddamn fire, Freezy.
I agree.
Give me 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours, 3 to 5 days.
That's it. That's all it takes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So this notion of 8 hour days in school is just preposterous. You know what I'm saying? And also, E-Man, I want to encourage you, E-Man. Listen, this notion that white is right, man, it just made me cringe when you said that, dog. You know,
That shit was funny though. I ain't gonna lie, Freeze. I was laughing my ass off. But I want, yo, I don't. But again, when I hear stuff like that, I don't necessarily think right is right. When I hear that, I think the best qualified person. I always when I hear shit like that, I'm thinking, well, let's just get the best qualified person, whoever that may be. But yeah, he did. The way he said it was like white is white. This shit was funny.
Yeah, I wonder how Jackson, Mississippi would have did if they would have appointed Brett Favre in the governor of Jackson, Mississippi, and whoever that later was the president of that non-charity over Jackson, Mississippi. I wonder how they would have did.
I don't know how the government would do, but they had
Mr. Charlie, baby. Shout out to Mr. Charlie.
Hey, I don't know how the government would do, but they probably had the best football system in the whole state. Goddamn, with Brett Favre at the head.
Hold on, guys. I want to ask E-Man that question. Like, nobody's obligated to give money, right? But that scheme with the governor, that was $75 million, and half of that, and some of that $75 million went to Bill and Brett Favre's daughter, a damn, what was it? A damn volleyball?
Oh my God!
Hold on.
Hey, you seen Brett Favre's daughter? I think it's the oldest one.
Right. Brett Favre said. Brett Favre. Yeah,
you a pedophile, Dusto.
No, this one was grown.
Like, quit being thirsty. Quit being thirsty now. Let black man cook.
I thought you was talking about the other one.
Yeah, so think about this, guys. If Brett Favre wasn't obligated to give his school his alma mater no money, he just stole it from the government. He just stole it from the state.
And that money, and that money was going to the money was going to welfare recipients. They stole from the welfare program.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't need that money no way.
And look, you know what I'm saying? They stole it from the welfare program.
Guess what? You
stole from the thieves.
And guess what, man, Gerald? You don't hear nothing else about it.
Nothing. We don't know if he gave the money back.
Nothing.
Nobody went to jail.
Don't forget about the public speakers he didn't do that. He got
right. The public speakers, exactly.
I'm being real. Both his daughters are fine.
Quit being thirsty, bros. Y'all need to quit being thirsty.
So I want to hear. Hey, so what are your thoughts on that, E-Man? That the way that Brett Favre went about getting money, and he a multimillionaire.
I think people that do crime should go to jail.
Yep.
Except me.
I don't care if he was an athlete or he was white. I don't think that's how the law should be written. I think if you do something that's worthy, that they can prove that you did a crime, you should go to jail. I'm like consistent on that. But the idea though, so do you think so I really want to understand what y'all think. So if the kids are only going to school for 3 hours and then they transition to a 40-hour work week, how do you think that transition will work?
Let me go first.
Most of them don't do it. Most of them don't do it.
Can I run it real quick? This is what I'm saying, brother E-Man. Real talk. I'm looking at it from the standpoint that the system is broken, and hey, let's try to find another way to go. Now, I'm not saying that the 4-hour school day is the correct answer, but I will state that the current system does not work. So all I'm saying is let's give this a try, and then we'll figure out for those children who do have to work a 8-hour workday, which again, when we talk about the average person can't even get a full-time job these days. It's just the way it is right now. So that situation, it might not be a 40-hour work week that we need to train them, get them ready for. We might have to get them ready to be the gig economy. We got to get them ready to manage their time and drive that Uber or do that Uber Eats and then work at Target, right? And then also try to study up on their crypto and try to hit that jackpot or whatever the case may be. But the system we got right now doesn't work. I'm saying let's fix that. And then and as we're trying to fix that, we'll adjust everything as we go. That's all I'm saying.
But the problem, let me respond to him.
Go ahead.
But the problem that y'all guys are not understanding, you are creating a new problem.
Of course.
Because their parents are at work for 8 hours. Some of them at work. Black man just made a whole. He just made a whole talking about they can't even come to the PTA meeting because they working. Yep. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna flood these neighborhoods with unsupervised kids at home.
Brother E-Man, you served, right?
Yes.
Brother E-Man, you served, right?
Yes.
Right. So our mission is to do the best we can for our children. The current situation isn't working. As a soldier, you know what I mean? As an artilleryman, are you telling me you're gonna keep putting rounds on that grid with zero effect on the enemy? No matter where the enemy is, you're going to just keep doing it. or you're going to adjust fire. That's what I'm saying.
See, so let me give you an example.
You're gonna adjust fire.
Listen,
let me go next. Go ahead.
Let me, because I like that cheat. So in artillery, right? If I'm shooting at the right target, but what's off is my charges, I should literally change the charge. The charge is the program, not the time. I agree that we need to change something, but the length of time that they're there is not the problem.
Wouldn't
the
that be the
problem
charge?
is what they're learning.
Wouldn't that be part of the charge?
No. So the charge is the actual what you're actually doing to make the mechanism shoot.
No, and I get what he's talking about. We're not gonna make this an artillery lesson. But here's the thing, though. I'm looking at more instead of the charge. I'm looking at it more of the fact that we're gonna walk in on the target, right? We're gonna adjust fire and get on target. We're missing the target right now. We're either overshooting or we're undershooting or we're too far left or too far right. Let's adjust. So, like again, I think our disconnect here is you are convinced that the 8-hour workday is best. I'm not. I'm looking at the 8-hour workday is not working. We have the data. We have the eyes on the ground telling us we know this shit ain't working. Look at what these people over here are doing. That seems to be working. You mentioned Canada. You mentioned Canada.
You said the 8-hour. You said the 8-hour workday, but I
You meant the school day,
school
right?
day. The 8-hour school
day.
But hang on. But I think what you also said in that space, I think, is also being proven out that the 8-hour workday, again, compared to these other countries, isn't necessarily working either. Especially if you get more people who are working remotely from home, or at least partially. I think one thing that this whole situation the last couple of years has proven is that people can be productive at home or having a schedule where you don't necessarily have to go and be in an office for 8 hours a day. You can have flex time as long as you get the task done in the time that it needs to be done. A lot of people aren't checking you saying if you're doing it 40 hours, or if you could do it in 20, but as long as you get what you're being, paid to do, you're not getting paid to work 40 hours either. You're getting paid to drive results.
Shout out to
so
Google.
You do that in 20 days.
So that's time management.
That's what I'm saying.
time management.
So in both the school system and the workforce, I think it's a conversation where we need to start thinking: is the 40-hour work week sufficient? For in order to be productive and to move the society forward as well. So I think both of those conversations I think are being looked at, and I think what we just came through is proving that you don't have to be in an office or whatever. You can have that flexibility. Again, if you are working from home, which a lot of people, certainly in the IT fields and whatnot, like I am doing, you then have time to go to the PTA meeting or whatever. And if you can't, then you could do it virtually via Zoom or whatever. So I think there's a lot more options that are opening up where we can have these changes. But the school system is still an area where people don't want to touch it too much. But I think it's a conversation.
Let's give a good perspective. First of all, it's only 17% of the population working from home. When we start talking about infrastructure jobs, it requires you to be there. I get if you're talking about like your kid gonna be a coder. Guess what? Most people kids ain't gonna be a coder. They not.
Well, and that's not the place to be in. I know someone made a comment earlier about coding. I would advise anyone, if you're in the U.S. or North America, do not do coding, because you got 500 million people across the other side who would do it for a fraction of rice.
But it's not just going to be coding. It's going to be customer service. Every time you count a customer service to get somebody from Bangladesh, I'm just saying, if they can do the work in Bangladesh, you can do the work right here in Tennessee.
I'm saying we need to get back to some of those jobs. Like I said, the infrastructure jobs, the plumbing, the electrician, the piping, where you can actually, that stuff does. If your job can be outsourced, if your job can be done on a computer, it's probably not a good profession to go in long term. It may sound sexier, but really the manual labor type of job, mechanic and whatnot. Votech. Again, we used to dish Votech back in the day because Votech was for the kids who weren't smart. But now I'm seeing, I just got a couple lights, and the electrician came over my house, charged me $580 something for an hour's worth of work. So I'm saying, wait a minute, I might be in the wrong profession.
And that's right, 4 hours in school, and then 4 hours with the pipe fitters, 4 hours with the bricklayers, 4 hours with the plumbers. I would say try something like
myself.
that.
I was in Votech myself, and that's what happened with me. When it came down to it, my 11th, my 12th grade, school was so much easier for me because for the simple fact that I only spent 3 hours in school. The rest, I was spending at a Fortune 500 company, a construction company.
Absolutely.
And so let me say real quick, E-Man, because I want you to say something about what I'm about to say too. So hold on just a second. This is another fucked up thing, y'all. I know some of us got jobs where they take care of us, but the average, this is normal. They say PTO days for adults and parents in the U.S. How many PTO days is normal? The average is 10.
When you say PTO day, what are we talking about? PTO days.
Paid time off.
Time off. PTO
Paid
is
time off.
Listen, in Europe, it's mandatory. Mandatory, you get a month.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting.
Mandatory.
In Europe, you have 53 days of PTO a year. 53 days.
That's why
y'all better get with the government. Y'all better get that leave. Y'all better get with the government.
That's
So
why
black man, let me ask you this: when you saying PTO, you're not talking about vacation time.
No,
you just talking about part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see.
They get vacation times too.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
get vacation.
recategorizing it now. No, PTO, they're taking away all those distinctions now. It's just a time off. It's sick time. It's vacation time.
Yeah, it's all in one now in America.
They're just making up just a blanket.
Well, see, at my job, it's not. So I get like 65 hours of PTO time, and then I could get a max of 320 hours of vacation time. So mine is two different things.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but here's the big point, though. Do we see how the world is changing, yet we want to stay locked into this system?
Yeah.
With our children, that's not working. Brother Hinks in the trenches. We gotta listen to the guys on the front, yo. Like if the teachers are saying, "Hey, we need to try this," why aren't we trying it? I'm not saying that it's the perfect answer. And brother Email, you're right. It might lead to more problems, but guess what? That's why we got leadership. That's why you got to be who. You know what I mean? Brother Mandrill, how many missions were you on that went to shit as soon as y'all got there? Did you just give up? Did you keep going? Did you keep pushing forward? Or did you modify the mission?
Now, DL, let me say this.
Yeah, adopting overcomers. They say
I want to
add. Mission.
Yeah, I want to add to what DL said. There are kids right now. Like I said, these kids are way, way more intelligent than we were. They're lazier, but they're more intelligent.
And also their attention span is decreasing. There's no way to hold their attention for so long.
Exactly.
Like the average attention span right now is 8.25 seconds.
You know why?
8.25 seconds.
This is why.
And guess what? My thing is this: when you walking around with a supercomputer in your hand, and you can watch your favorite TV show, you can watch shorts, you can watch like today.
Porn.
My son, today I was going through my videos, and my son said, and I don't know who's the other night. To my kids don't know Andrew Tate. My son say, "Dad, that's Andrew Tate." I said, "How the hell you know?" He said, "Daddy, he got a lot of cool cars, Daddy. We see him at school. He be on the TV at school." I said,
"That's why he locked up. That's why Tate locked up right now."
I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Dad, he got so many cool cars, Daddy. Daddy, did you know he got a school, Daddy? He got a school." I said, "That's not for kids, though, son. That's not a kid's school." And I said, "What teacher got y'all watching this?" He said, "Daddy, just be on the gym TV. Like when we be in the gym, you can see Andrew Tate." I was like, "Wow."
And DL saying he's not locked
He
up.
just sticks all the way out. This little PE teacher.
We say, man, he ain't locked up. He ain't locked up.
He got bonded out the same day. That man, rich people don't stay in jail too long, man.
Nah, he's still in that Romanian jail, but he in the wrong country. They got his ass right now. Boy, they talking to him.
Yeah, the thing is about that, man. Somebody coming. Somebody coming after him.
Yeah, they're sending him a motherfucking message, boy.
That's why he's still locked up. I don't know. He must have pissed off somebody with some deep pockets.
Yeah,
somebody coming after him, man.
Hey, black man, highlight Doreen's message. Black man, highlight Doreen's message.
So let me say this. She said, teachers, watch this. She says, teachers in Texas only get 10 paid days off. That's some bullshit. After that, school docs, teachers pay at least $200 a year, $200 per day missed.
Damn.
Hank,
y'all got something like that, Hank? Y'all got something like that?
Yeah, but someone's going to say, but they get summers off. So
we have 5 sick and
I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying that's what somebody's going to come back.
We couldn't use
back.
vacation.
I get the summer off.
Well, that's definitely what they're gonna come back with, brother. Brother Ben is right. They're gonna say, "Well, you get the whole summer off, so why can't we gotta handle this different because it's not a whole year."
Not with that paycheck they get. The motherfuckers got a second job.
They ain't getting no money.
I'm not agreeing.
They doing Uber and Lyft and all kind of shit.
Again, I said like I said before.
Houston is 61.
Hey man, listen, bro. You know what the fuck that
That's
thing
not
is?
enough though, Dusto.
You already know.
22-year-old, 61.
You know
that's not a lot in Texas.
8 8.5 months out the year, 61 grand, no state taxes.
And you get every holiday off.
How much of that? But how much of that money they put? How much of that money they spend in school?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Because you got to also think about this. The kids get them all them holidays off. Teachers don't. Teachers got to show up some days while them kids off even doing a winter break and doing a spring break. They still got to show up. They got to be there a week before the kids come back to school.
I was a teacher.
To prep the
I was a teacher, bro.
And guess what? Hold on.
You said what?
I was a teacher.
Hold on. Guess what, Dusto? Here in Dallas,
I couldn't hear you, man.
Hold on.
I was a teacher.
Give me 1 second. In Dallas, about a few years ago, all the older teachers from the old school, they all got together and say, "Listen, we ain't teaching another goddamn thing until we get some more money. We need at least 40 more grand. If we ain't making up in the upward hundreds, fuck y'all. We gone." And they were protesting it. We're not making enough money. You want us with your kids for 8 hours a day. They bad. They got attention spans are 4 seconds long. They run up and down the hallway. I'm not about to deal with that shit making those $60,000. Y'all got me fucked up.
And we can't kick them out, and they might come in here and shoot the place up.
Yeah,
they whooping on a lot of teachers. They whooping on
from California.
Yeah, and I got to deal with kids running up on me, trying to fight me, talking to me, calling me out my name. Y'all not paying me enough to deal with this shit.
And then you don't have parents to assist or help you with the situation because they feel like little Johnny's an angel. He doesn't do that shit at home.
Right.
But that little bastard does it here.
Or how many teachers call the parents, they be like, I'm at work, I can't even talk right now. Gee, I mean, just think about it. I can't come up there right now. I can't deal with that right now.
No, you're telling me.
So, E-Man, what was your question you're trying to ask me?
Yeah,
that was me.
I was asking too. Go ahead, Dusto.
No, Dusto's just trying to dust. He's trying to troll right now.
No, I'm saying I was a teacher. They're like, man, they ain't making no money. They were making, in 2010, it was 45 starting. That wasn't bad at all. My rent
$45,000 in LA or Austin, Texas. $45,000 in Austin, Texas. You might be below the poverty line, bro. Because I mean, in Austin, come on now. And I'm just being 100 with
you. I said 2010. 2010, $45,000 a year. Half the teachers owned homes.
I can't do shit with that.
Now,
I'm trying to.
In 2010, most of the teachers owned homes. Most of them. A lot of them also. You only work 8.5, 9 months out the year.
All right, bro. So you don't have to get no certifications. You don't have to go back to school and get nothing to get promoted.
Yes, you got to have a master's.
Thank you. You ain't got to go out and buy. You're not going out buying material for your class.
Some states in Kentucky you have to have your master's 5 years after you have your bachelor's. That was a requirement in Kentucky.
Right
now, of course, since COVID, they lowered the standards.
Yeah, because don't nobody want to come up there.
Nobody want to teach. And look, in California, when I was in California, right, I was out there. I did like 25. It was a bid, y'all. I did a fucking bid out that bitch. You know what I mean? But the thing about California is, those were great teachers. Got my daughter in one of the best school districts. Them teachers couldn't afford to live on their own. The teachers had to live together, and it was still a struggle. Right now, I understand the state is different and all that.
Yeah.
But they were getting paid the numbers you talking about. They were getting paid the numbers you're talking about. They were getting paid somewhere between $45,000 and $65,000. They all had EDP, those food stamp cards, whatever they call them. EBT. They all qualified. They were all below the fucking poverty line. They were busting their asses. They had 2 jobs during the school year. So, I mean, I think all teachers, like law enforcement, people might get mad at me. I think every school teacher and every cop should get paid $100,000 a year base, and the state should pay amount, and the shortcoming should be made up by the federal government. If we taking education serious, then we should be paying these educators real fucking money and hold them to account. But people don't want to have that conversation. So really, the 8-hour day versus 4-hour day really don't mean shit if we're not going to put money into those people that we entrusting to educate our children. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brother E-Man. I appreciate everything he was saying. He's making good, valid points. But at the end of the day, in America, we don't give a shit about education, do we? You got kids who graduate high school. Some of them got some college under their belt and can't name 3 countries on planet Earth. They can't do it. You got motherfuckers running around telling you that men have landed on the sun. Did you hear what I said?
And you know what,
Oh my
DLC?
God.
I'm gonna add something to that, DLC.
Yeah, but did we go to the moon?
Right. Right.
No, because they say the moon is cheese and the earth is flat. Go ahead, black man.
It's a whole nother show right
That's
there.
right.
But my thing is,
Shout
man.
out to Kyrie Irving.
Right. I agree, man, with what you're saying. Like a lot of kids, when you ask them, especially kids that's real smart, that don't know the stuff you just said, DL Saint, they'll be like, I don't, and you'll tell them, no, ain't no man land on no son. That ain't something I need to know anyway. That's what they're gonna tell your ass. That ain't something I need to know. The hell I need to know if a man landed on the sun or not. That's not important to me.
They don't need to know that.
Right. I don't care who landed on the moon.
They don't need to know that. They right. Like,
why do I need to know who
But
landed on the moon?
that's what they're learning in part of them 8 hours in school. That's what they're learning.
They just need to learn the basics. Just add, subtract. That's it. That's all they need to learn. They don't need to learn all this algebra stuff.
I want to ask E-Man a question. E-Man.
Math, science, and English is the things they need to learn.
I want to ask
Math, science, and English.
Building bridges, you better know some algebra.
Yeah. Here you go, E-Man. So, E-Man, how do you feel about Elon Musk saying that school is a waste of time? And he said 8 hours a day is just ruining a child's life.
I think Elon Musk say things that people want to hear. He worked more than 8 hours a day. If you ever heard Elon Musk,
He makes sure everybody else works more than 8 hours a day too.
Yeah, he does. He sure does.
Yeah. So this idea, like when he said that, first of all, I think he only got one child.
No, hell
no. He got multiple, man. He got multiple.
A lot.
He's got a lot of child.
He got 6 kids.
That we know about. Wait. That we know about.
First of all, you got to understand that Elon Musk is speaking from a level of
shit. No, I'm lying. That nigga got 10, bro.
Thank you.
Elon Musk got 10 he got 10 kids.
That cat was out there squirting at him. Wasn't he shooting up the club? He was like, I got
He was not firing anything.
money.
You know what?
JT, he buying the club. Why is you shooting it up?
You know what? I bet that motherfucker child support is United States deficit.
Hell yeah.
Damn. Oh my God. Yo,
His dirty ass be, hey, he be shooting it up like this, black man. Hey, black man, he shooting it up like this.
He's not paying child support. They understand they get more for not being on child support.
They say, fuck that child support. I want what you can give me.
Go ahead.
To answer your question, sometimes your privilege blinds you from reality.
That's facts. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Privilege is blind to those who have it. Absolutely.
That's facts.
So him saying that his kids might only need to be in school for 3 hours because they got a nanny. They got listen. His kids' mama don't work, so they could be able to be full time in their kids' life.
Hey, man, they breakfast ain't no damn Cheetos and Hawaiian Punch in the morning, is it?
No, most of Elon, I don't even think
he got them on them green drinks.
Hell yeah.
I'm just speaking from what I think. I don't know. I didn't do no research, but I'm pretty sure Elon Musk kids is not in private. They're not in public schools.
Absolutely not. Not one
Absolutely
of them.
not.
So it's easy when you're completely disconnected from something to make an assessment on something that have nothing to do with you. And I think
so, E-Man, let me ask you this then. Are you saying this because you worry about your employees all walking out of your office because they have to take care of homeschool their kids? Is that why you keep pushing this narrative?
No, I look at the United States as a whole, and the United States is crazy because we always want to talk macro, right? And if we look at the kids that are in school system, we can't sustain. We can't sustain them paying a bus driver to pick them up, drop them off 3 hours later. Guess what? Their parents are not going to be there, and it's going to cause a problem. So we got to find a different solution.
Let me say this real quick, guys. I'm just over here Googling shit while y'all talking. When y'all said his kids they go to private school. Guess what private school they go to?
His daddy made one.
Yes, exactly. He built his own fucking school for his kids, and
he does that everywhere he moves to. Wherever he moves, he builds a school for his kids.
The school that he built is they say it's state of the art, and it cost him $250 billion.
He did. How many hours they going? How many hours of school they going to this private school?
Hold on. It's called. He said, this is what he said, and I quote: "There's no reason for children to be in school for 8 hours. What we do here in 4, most kids won't do for a whole year in school." fuck. He said we focus.
That's true.
He said we focus on STEM. He said we strongly focus on STEM, and he said robotics, weather balloons. What else he got down here? Let's see.
That's some advanced
rocket building shit, walking around in zero gravity. Because he going to Mars.
I'm clicking on it right now so I can read the rest of it.
And also, while you do that, DL, I disagree with you paying cops $100,000, man. No,
I think law enforcement should be paying.
No. When cops do a better fucking job, they will talk about increasing their pay. Right now, the way they operate.
Let me finish. It's more to it. It's more to it. We are agreeing right now. It's more to it.
Right now, the way they operate, they're worth about $5,000 a year.
I agree with you, but it's more. It's not just giving the cops that are out there today $100,000. No, you raise the bar. You made it $100,000 minimum, but you're gonna have to qualify. You're gonna have to qualify and continue to qualify.
You got to raise the bar and vet these people as well. You can't have somebody with a badge that's on a power trip.
I guess I'm not paying you $100,000 a year to shoot me.
Teachers should only be making about $80,000 too. They should not be making.
Man, I'll do it for $5,995.
They got the power to take your life legally. They got the power to take your freedom. Dude,
man, what'd you say?
That's your payment. All that authority.
You said what, E-Man?
Shit. No, you don't need no more money.
A fair salary for teachers is about $80,000 for the work that they do.
I don't agree.
How you come up with that, E?
No.
Same way I came up with 100,000. Pull that motherfucker right out my head.
$100,000 to a cop.
It is a mathematical. So most teachers working about nine months a year, right? They do get some time off. I know some people want to argue that teachers work all 12 months. They don't, but they do get some time off, and they also get PTO. And I'm looking at about $10,000 a month, roughly. I think it's about $80,000. That's how I calculate it.
I would say $100,000 a year for every teacher. I would go to a 12-month program. It would be no more summers off. Like we would rotate our kids through, and we would change the way we do business. But it would be $100,000 base. That's not the max. That's just where we coming in at $100,000. There would be qualifications. No, there would be no more tenure.
Let me say this.
Go ahead, brother Hank. Go ahead, brother Hank.
Let me say this. They also need to get paid hazard pay in 2023 because of the bullshit you have to deal with on a regular basis. Again, you act like every school you're talking about is the safest school. They don't have school shootings.
Nope.
They don't have issues with kids trying to fight teachers or get into altercations or have to break up fights. Because guess what? Teachers are breaking up fights. They don't have, not every school has a security in them because they don't want to pay them. They don't want to pay police, off-duty police officers, off-duty sheriffs. They don't want to do that. They want to hire their own security firm and get some old man. He's about 75, should have retired about 5 years ago, but see, he still want to collect the check. All said that Social Security.
Hey, brother Hank,
trying to fight the fight for school.
Brother Hank, let me suggest this to you, brother Hank. Won't you take up this topic on your show in the basement? This is some shit I would like to talk to you about because in this world, in this world with $100,000, it's 12 months, and guess what? We kicking badass kids out. Guess what?
But
we gonna have security.
No, you can't do that because the state runs the shit. You don't.
We gonna change. We gotta change that. We gonna have a school. We gonna have a school for them badass little kids.
The state will not allow you to kick out
some teachers and
I'm telling you because my kids.
You're not suspending kids.
I'm so in tune with my kids, bro, and I'm telling you what the laws are. The state will not even suspend kids no more. The state will not kick them out. If a kid walk down the hallway and scream and throw fucking paper, he gonna be right there all day.
If he's cussing up a storm, if he's just punching people. That's the same thing.
Brother black man, you're not hearing me. We are changing all that. Again, we're just talking about a dystopia. How would I do it? We gonna get rid of these badass kids. And if mom and daddy got a problem with it, we'll lock your ass up. How about that? You want to talk about accountability? You want to talk about accountability?
You know what we should do? We should have another building where they have like these drill sergeants and they discipline these kids.
I wouldn't go that far.
All that.
I would
go that far. Like I see all these badass kids like cussing up a storm, not even respecting authority.
It'll make the problem worse.
80,000 was the base, DL. So 80,000 is what you come in at. Now, if you have a doctor's degree, of course, if you're a principal, if you have some other different certification, for example, if you coach football, that's going to add to your salary. You coach a sport, that add to your salary. So I'm saying that 100,000 as a base is way too much.
Well, you don't get extra. You get a stipend coaching the high school sports or
He said he
middle
would
school
change that. He
sports.
said he would change that.
Watch this. We always talk. Okay, let me say this. We always talk about changing something. Listen, the fucking curriculum been the same for 150 years. They haven't changed it. How motherfucking you think they're gonna go up and then just go say, "Hey, listen, we demand this"? The motherfucker be like, "Get the fuck out!" Like, let me tell you something. In Texas right now, there are fucking high school football coaches making $120,000 a year. $130,000 a year to coach football here in Texas.
Yeah, but they're going to state.
No, but but the thing is, but here's what. Wait, here's
but they're
why.
not teachers. They're not teachers.
They're not. But here's why. Here's why. That's because that if that football program is successful, that football program funds a lot of different stuff for that school. Football and athletic programs.
No, he's talking about high school though.
I know. Even in high school, yes. Even in high school, also. Athletic programs bring in a ton of money for schools if they're successful athletic programs.
So y'all
they bring in a ton of money.
You do understand?
Fuck education.
Hey, no, Hank. That's how Alabama and Auburn and that's how these schools pay for academics and those brand new set-up facilities. The athletic programs,
but that's on the college level.
That's on the college level.
We're talking about
high school as well. In Texas, they treat regular football games like the Super Bowl.
And guess what?
Every week.
Guess what, man?
Fireworks and all kind of crazy stuff.
I blame this shit on George Bush. No child left behind.
Man, no child. But let's hear, man. There's a school in Allen, Texas, right now, a high school, the Eagles or some shit like that. They just finished their stadium about 5 years ago. The cost of that stadium was $85 million. They got
you do understand what y'all just did, right?
Hold on. Watch this. They spent $85 million on the stadium. They put the biggest jumbotron at a high school in that motherfucker. It's like you going to the Cowboys practice facility.
So guess what y'all just said? Education don't mean shit.
Sports.
Our money goes to entertainment. And when you listen to these doggone young folks from 20 on down, only thing that they want to do is be into entertainment.
America doesn't give a shit about education, bro. American doesn't care about education, and it's not just
show, right?
Right. It is and it's not just And we create for when we need.
That's what I said. That's what I was just saying.
But it's not just Texas, Ohio, the state of Ohio, just Cincinnati alone, Cincinnati Moeller, Cincinnati Elder, Cincinnati St. Xavier High School, right? These three high school programs. At one time, their programs were out. They were out raising money, like out funding the University of Cincinnati. These motherfucking schools, these three high schools, I guarantee you right now, these three high schools have more money in their football programs than any of the HBCU schools that are out there today. High school, so it ain't just Texas now.
So if they're not doing sports, now watch this though. If they're not doing sports, ask them what they want to be now, what they inspire to be. Most of them said that they inspired to be a what? A YouTuber. A YouTuber or a rapper. And they can't rap shit. And all you have to do is look. Now watch this. All you have to do, hold on, man.
Stupid.
Let me say something. All you have to do is go and look at all these fucking rap videos, right?
Trash.
And all of these little rappers, they can't rap worth shit. And all you got to do is go look and see how many views they get and see if they're monetized. Every one of those motherfuckers be monetized.
Yep.
33 million, 45 million. Some of them got 100 million monetized. And all they're talking about is killing and screwing.
Brother Ben is right.
That's what we're talking about.
I want to address something that DL
yes, so do I, and you won't like it either. But go ahead, man.
So you keep saying America don't care about school systems, right? It is.
I said America doesn't care about education. We do not value knowledge or education.
All right. Education actually is supposed to be valued by the parents. See, I have learned when parents
get involved, America.
Listen, when
parents are Americans.
Well, I get that point. But when parents, because when we talk about America, we talk about as a whole. But if a parent, I have learned when a parent is involved, the schools start to change, especially if you got a group. If you got a gang of parents that's involved, that's like on purpose, you see change in those school systems. So what I'm saying is, instead of us trying to attack the school system, we need to start saying these parents need to hold these school systems accountable, and then that's what we will see change.
So
you're not gonna see change immediately. I get what you're saying, E.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is you gotta let that shit ruin itself.
Yeah, let Dust cook. I know Dusto want to cook me. Let Dusto cook me. I know brother Dusto ready to cook.
No, I want to cook all 9 of y'all. Here's the deal. Take 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, and go find you a teacher who's been in the game at least 5 years and listen to that teacher, especially one who's works on a management team or something, and listen to what they have to say. If they're willing to tell you what really goes on. Don't record it. Meet them in an alley somewhere. Some stuff you don't want to know, but everything that y'all have been saying are the reasons why people don't value education and no one wants to be a teacher. And you're saying, hey, we need teachers. We need the money. We need to. These are the reasons why there is no money and there is no education.
But that's though it went to what I was just saying. Nobody's aspiring to be teachers anymore because they want to be goddamn content creators and rappers.
And hold on, how long? But that's been around forever. They want to be baseball players, football players, basketball players.
No.
Rappers,
What I'm saying is, it ain't been around like it is now, bro. It's not around like it is now. We can see things now. We couldn't see them back then. There were more community then. Now it's global. It's very global. It's the same thing what we were just saying. E-Man, you just said it.
JT, stop. JT, what was your rap name? What was your rap name, nigga? You had one. What was your rap name?
First and foremost, bro, I was not only just, and I'm still a DJ. I am.
Just saying, what was your rap? What was your rap name? What was your rap name? You had a rap name, nigga.
In the 6th grade.
Thank you. And I was DRS. I was DRS, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So everybody had these dreams. Brother Hank. But hold on. How long has Brother Hank been teaching?
It wasn't an entity. It wasn't an entity. And when I was coming up, bro, it wasn't. This is what I'm saying. It wasn't an entity. Wasn't nobody been a millionaire at 16 years old, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
These cats are millionaires at 16.
LL Cool J.
Way different than when we came up, bro. We grew up with hip hop.
You're right.
It's about to be 50 years anniversary of hip hop. Come, I think in
August. Yeah.
Right now, what I'm saying is there's no, and we all saying the same thing. There is
no. I'm saying something totally different.
What I'm saying is that we're saying.
Hold on.
I'm trying to tell you, the reason you have no education and no teachers is because of this. This is your PTA meeting. This.
Why y'all keep thinking rap was the problem? I didn't say that. I said the inspiration to be a rapper.
I said rap music is the problem.
I'm gonna be with JT.
Get rid of it altogether.
I'm gonna stand with JT on one of these things he just said. Right now, there's a 10-year-old boy on YouTube right now that opens new toys when they come out. He makes $9 million a year.
Okay,
that's good.
Hold on. If you and you know what makes you sick to your stomach? When you go look on this motherfucker, and we working hard all week on content creation, and then you gonna see a 12-year-old boy on there saying, "Mama told me not to cook. Mama told me to clean. Mama told me I can drink Sprite and go out and lean."
9 million, baby.
And you look down at that motherfucker, 1 million subscribers. I said, "What kind of fucking shit is this?"
Don't be hating, black man. Don't be hating.
Motherfuckers making $36,000 a month.
It should, black man.
Just looking at the fucking camera. Just Mama told me not to clean. Mama told me to lean. What the fuck?
Don't hate.
And that's the inspiration to all the other young folks, man. All you gotta do is just talk to them. They're gonna tell you what they want to be. Ain't nobody tell about they want to be no damn teacher, no instructor.
If you like the album, you would have bought it. Let's be real.
Excuse me?
No,
you would have liked the album.
No. Even take the music out of it. There's this African kid from Nigeria. I know Black David know him. He's a black kid. Guess what he does? He takes reaction videos, like he'll take this video we're doing right now. He just sit there and do this. 2 million motherfucking subscribers. He don't talk. You ain't never heard him talk. You ain't never heard that motherfucker say nothing. All he do is this. Look, I'm gonna give y'all one more, and I'm done. What about these motherfuckers that sit up and eat and let people watch them eat?
Yep.
I'm trying to told you already ago, and you ain't trying to hear me today. You ain't gonna hear me today.
I do want to make this point. I think rap music is the problem. I think we need to get rid of it altogether.
It's not I can't.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing now.
Oh, man.
No, hold on. E-Man has a point. Rap music does have a strong
That shit ain't never
influence.
going nowhere.
It has a strong influence on the youth.
It ain't going
Absolutely,
nowhere.
but not
all
getting
youth.
nothing.
It's more of an influence on a white youth than it is black. I would make that argument.
Stop it. Stop it.
Music has E-Man's right. E-Man has a point now.
No, hold on, Mandrell.
Stop it.
E-Man.
E-Man has a point now.
More white people buy hip hop than black people do.
It's because there's more of them. What are you talking about?
Bro?
No, bro.
That don't mean they have to buy it, though. That don't mean they have to buy it just because there's more of them.
No, listen.
But like I said, when it comes down to it, we keep looking at it locally or just in America. This is a global thing, bro. If you look, and if you guys ever heard what drill music actually is, and the impact that drill music has on not only America but on the world. You have a small community that makes this type of music. Killing. That's what the drill music is. And it has a huge impact on the world. It's so much where
you saying crime rates is going up in Korea and all these places because of the kind of music?
Listen, you got England, they got drill music in England. They call it drill music London or some shit like that. You got drill music over in Asia.
Hold on. Only in UK, only in London, only in the UK where drill is a problem. The rest of the world ain't a problem. What were you saying, brother E-Man?
I didn't say it was, but it's an impact, bro. It's an impact.
I gotta tell Black Man Unfiltered this, right? So first of all, these youths, black people, are downloading these songs illegally. Now the white people that went out there and they done paid for this music, and just because you can't track,
How did I know that shit was coming, bro? How did I know that?
How did they download it illegally? Napster doesn't exist anymore.
White people created Napster.
Look at the coon.
Hey, Mr.
Bennett. Man, that's a damn lie.
Hey, Mr. Bennett, you remember LimeWire? Same shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that, man.
All that shit, though.
Hold on, what was the name of the white boy that started all the stealing music? What was the name of the white boy? Yes,
E-Man voted for Herschel Walker.
Here's the thing.
E-Man started in Compton.
I got give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, fellas. I ain't gonna lie. I still torrent music. I ain't gonna bullshit. The last CD I bought was "Speak About the Love Below." By,
if you got CDs, then something wrong with you.
No, the last CD the last music I paid for was "Speak About the Love Below" by Outkast.
You old as hell if you call music, if you call anything a CD. The last CD I bought, that's the last thing I bought. That's like me saying the last album I bought. Ain't no album, ain't no CDs. It ain't none of that shit no more.
So Black Man Unfiltered, you don't believe if we... So Black Man Unfiltered, you don't believe, it's a question I have for us. So it's a question I really believe. You don't believe that we can solve majority of the black issues if we remove the hip hop music?
No.
No.
And if you're talking about the violence, I mean, clearly.
But he did as Black Man though. He did as Black Man. Let's hear Black Man's answer. Look at his face though.
I'm gonna drop the album.
Heck, that gets on the same way.
Hey, thinking of a master plan, baby. Thinking of a master plan, bro.
But Black Man, answer the question.
So
let me ask you. I bought that album yesterday, JT.
I don't.
Hey, you went to a DJ shop, a regular,
regular shop,
a record store in New Orleans
selling albums.
Yeah, because
I went to a record store in New Orleans called Nolan Records.
Yeah, I still buy records because I'm still a DJ. I got crates and crates and crates of records because I'm still a
Man,
DJ
though.
and I still use turntables. So
we got here Black Man answer that though.
Let me answer the question.
Yeah.
I don't think if you take rap away, everything's still gonna be the same. I don't think that's gonna change anything. Just to be honest, I think that when we were talking a few minutes ago about when JT alluded to entertainment, when people are paying for entertainment, listen to me. If you got, I wish we could all just teleport somewhere and I could show y'all this fucking $85 million stadium. And you have schools, they say they don't have funding, right? They don't have funding. They can't buy new books. They can't do this. And 10 miles down the road, there's an $85 million stadium being built with a fucking $2 million Jumbotron with NFL turf on the fucking field. I just, you know, I don't know. I think priority, man. I think it's just all about priority, bro. But I didn't tell y'all something a few minutes ago. I didn't finish. When it came to Elon Musk, school, this is what it says, guys. They focus on STEM. They focus on robotics, weather balloons, political solutions, and artificial intelligence. It says languages, sports, and arts are relegated to the background, to the kids' background. If they want to play, they can. If they don't want to play, they can't. Now watch this, y'all. Don't fall out your seat. He gives the kids the freedom to drop out of any class they don't like. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. You can replace it with something else at any time you want to. It says the lack of education on humanities may attract some critics, but there is no lack of believers either, as is 12 available places in a small nonprofit school. He gives 400 families a year an opportunity for their child to join his school. Where they have freedom. 400 families a year. He give them opportunities to get there. He pays for some of those kids to go to that school. Well, even not paid because it's his shit, but he lets them go for free, basically.
So, but hold on, let's back up because I like what you made about that point. What do you think is positive about rap music?
I don't think in certain rap music, I don't think anything's positive. I think that what rap music is, when it first started out, I think it was men that lived in it, that took their situations and put beats behind it and told a story.
The message.
Well, we talk about now in 2022.
Oh shit! Right now, it's all over the fucking place. It's
shitty. It's shitty.
But that's the crazy part. Everybody called me a coon and called me crazy when I say it's nothing good about it, but we should keep it.
There is some good about rap.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, E-Man.
Somebody did call me that, Mr. Bennett.
But
on this panel,
E-Man.
I heard it.
E-Man. Let me ask you this, E-Man. You gonna do the same thing with violent movies?
Oh shit!
Yep. I think.
Why? No. The violent movies.
E-Man's off. E-Man's gonna take your second minute. Hey, E-Man's gonna take your guns too, man.
No, where the fuck he isn't? Come get him.
Let me answer the question. I come get him. I come get him.
You gonna come get my guns?
Do not take mine.
Anyway, come on, you come over here.
Hey, celebrity boss,
come get my gun.
I was gonna say the guns, but I
got
hold on. I know. None of y'all military guys are giving up guns.
I get it.
Let me answer the question, man.
I am very Charlton Heston-esque.
Yeah, no John.
My cold dead hands.
I strongly believe that, especially when we talk about young kids, they should not be watching violent stuff. There's a reason that these things are rated. Like,
well, that's on the parents, E-Man. That's on the parents.
Yeah, exactly.
And I watch violent movies my whole life.
It's our main
Mandrell. We know.
And you don't have this level of violence in the world because in a lot of these places.
No, you didn't.
I'm absolutely fucking awesome. Don't hate.
And there's violence on TV. You got boxing, you got football, you got wrestling, you got all that.
E-Man,
so, don't hate.
E-Man, so what do we replace those movies with? Like those violent movies? You said we should take all of them out? Or what is your perspective?
Want CBN?
Y'all let me actually tell my perspective.
Okay, go ahead.
Let him cook a little bit. Let him go ahead and cook a little bit.
Fun, though.
So what I'm saying is that we should take these violent movies away from the kids, right? Because some kids cannot process what's actually going on. It's a reason these things are rated. I think it should be measures put in place where they cannot do it. It should be limited to an age group. That's just my opinion.
All those cartoons we grew up on were violent as anything. You'll see
Even the Power Rangers was violent.
It's a new day.
Y'all ain't old. How about a shout out to Robotech? Goddammit, y'all don't know nothing about them Star Blazers killing everybody.
Power Rangers
The
was not
Hanna-Barbera
violent.
era,
That was
all that stuff was
gymnastics.
violent. Warner
Power
Brothers.
Rangers was violent in a
not
way.
violent. It was gymnastics.
E-Man say
Voltron
Like if you
was
watch
violent.
the Japanese version of it, it's very violent.
Voltron was violent.
Was gymnastics.
Y'all going to the 90s stuff. I'm talking about Wild E. Coyote was like a
Breakdancing.
Even Dragon Ball Z.
Shit, Wally
Oh,
The
Coyote
kids
was
be watching some Dragon Ball Z.
The Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote was violent.
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry violent as fuck.
Hey, Dragon
That
Ball
Acme
Z was
TNT.
actually rated for adults. Kids
Popeye was really violent,
Well,
wasn't
how come kids were able to still watch on Toonami?
Hold on, real quick, y'all.
But hold on, yeah.
In the Facebook group, somebody said, "Well, if you take away violent movies, then you should also discourage kids from joining the military."
Oh, here's the thing. But here's the thing. Let me say this real quick, fellas. Let me say this real quick, and this is to support E-Man's position here. There's one place I know on planet Earth that does not allow TikTok the way we know it. They don't allow rap music or any other kind of music that they find. Thank you. In China, what you talk about, E-Man, is real life. You cannot have anything created, anything that goes against the Chinese Communist Party. You know what I mean? Shout out to I ain't signing shit. If he was on a panel right now, he would have to jump off because the Chinese be knocking at his fucking door for us just mentioning this fact. You know what I mean?
It's two places. North Korea too.
So
But these
are communists. But understand, you're asking for communism. You're asking for communism to govern you.
Let's
get. No, he's not asking for that. He's not asking for that. He's not asking for that.
E-Man, let's answer that question for the people that's watching on Facebook. What is your answer to that question? If you want to take away all the violent movies, then are you going to discourage kids also from going to the military? What are your thoughts?
Those two things are not the same. Because kids, first of all, can't enlist in the military. A child, you must be an adult. So I'm saying what is not good for kids, and they're trying to say what is not good for an adult. It's two totally different things. I think we should. Hold on, let me finish. I got you. We should be able to put certain things around our kids' mind until they get old enough to be able to digest this. I don't understand how that don't make sense.
What's that age? What's that age?
I would say 16, 17.
Okay. Here's the issue with that. Of everyone on this panel, I'm the only one who's actually seen war. Right?
No, I've seen it 3 times.
I've seen it in the picture show. I've seen it in the picture show.
No, I'm talking about been face to face, seeing the enemy in the eye, fighting, gunfight. So I'm telling you, these movies might help people socialize towards that, because if you send them out cold, they've never really seen real violence or anything, even on television. You talk about PTSD issues now, brother. Nothing on this planet, no amount of training is going to prepare you for that.
So man,
you need some kind of subliminal.
Bugs Bunny prepares you.
No, but you need some kind of, no. I'm not talking about Bugs Bunny. Like shit, like fucking RoboCop and Tango and Cash stuff.
That's my
violent, right?
Rambo.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Right. I don't know about that one.
Not so much that one.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
was it the Lion King when Mufasa got killed?
When you get into, what I'm saying is, once you get into war, there's no amount of training that prepares you for that. I mean, we were trained to the nines, and even when we got in there, it was like, "What? This is what it's like." You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, so if you send kids up there, blind like that and just green, no, that's, you don't have an army anymore.
So, no, but I mean, in a nutshell, all you got to do is say this: America without a goddamn military is like a woman without a husband.
And now look, hey, E-Man,
how about that?
They got another.
I will add this to the Mandrell point where
I'm just saying that's dangerous, E-Man. That's a dangerous one though, E-Man.
They got another question for E-Man. They said not only the military, now they go into something else. They say, should men that grow up in the country or in urban areas like in the woods, should the fathers not go hunting with their sons at 8 or 9 years old?
Well,
Good
most kids
Most-
ain't going hunting.
Yeah,
What are they
no,
doing?
Yes, they are in Virginia, Georgia,
Virginia.
North
Yeah.
Carolina,
I
South
do.
Carolina.
No, I hate when y'all guys do
Kentucky.
this. Y'all say the little areas
I
on
would-
the map that
hey,
this is happening at.
I'm
If
just
we
saying,
go
I
to
just-
the inner city, listen. If we go to the inner cities, majority of kids do not know how to shoot a rifle.
I'm from Detroit.
Hey,
Let me
do
tell
you
you what we
realize
do in
most of the
Detroit.
country is rural? Do you realize that, E-Man? Most of the country is rural. They're not inner cities.
The
Yeah.
point that I'm
Come
making,
on, man. God damn, dog.
You know how many people I know that go hunting in Detroit? Do you know how many people I know? Do you understand that Michigan is a city of industry and a city of hunters? Right now, you got people out there in the woods right now that's out there getting that Venice meat. They getting it right now.
No, they
But
gonna keep
hold on. Real talk. Honestly, brother E-Man, seriously, when you talk about America, you know, and I think it was Brother Hank that said it. I mean, we talk about flyover country, right? It's where the place where most people don't go. I mean, listen, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. First time I picked up a rifle, I was 8.
Yep,
I fired a flintlock, right? And then they had us fire a 22. By the time before I joined the military, I was already familiar with most styles of weapons. I was familiar with most sidearms. Once I left the military, I was familiar with most rifles and crew serve weapons. When I came home, the guys that didn't join the military, the guys that didn't go to war, were just as familiar with the weapons that I was familiar with, from AK-47s to MAC-10s, right, to Uzis, to you name it. This is in Cincinnati, Ohio. When you go to New York or South Central LA, or you go to any of the walls down in Louisiana or down there in Dallas, or shit down at the bottom, down in Dade, shout out to the Dade, where shit, they just had a shootout at a fucking rap video, yesterday? 10 people got hit. French Montana video. People are used to violence. And here's the thing: if you were never used to seeing what Hollywood depicts happens to a body, right? When you see a movie where someone gets shot and it be the splatter and all that, right? So when you see it in real life, it's not that much of a shock. But if you've never seen that and you see someone's arm get blown off, bro, that's it. You stuck. That's what we're talking about. People who just freeze. And no amount of training in the United States Army. Like, I'm airborne. I don't have the kind of training that Brother Mandrill has. You know what I mean? I didn't go on those type missions. But on the missions I did, fuck you artillery, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things, like, you can't just send people from a pristine environment into the slaughterhouse and think that's not gonna affect them. They did that shit in Germany during World War I. Them boys came back fucked up. They got into the trenches and saw, you know, you trying to dig a hole, you drinking a foxhole, and you dig up a head. You know what I mean? That's gonna mess you up, bro. You ain't never seen nothing like that. So I gotta push back.
The problem
head smell like shit.
E-Man, before you go, boy, they loving you, E-Man. They
hang in there, bro. That's what I'm talking about. He a soldier though. He a real soldier.
Yeah, they love.
Yeah, man.
Well, let me respond to Dee's thing, then I can answer whatever question.
Okay. Cool.
See, the problem that y'all guys are doing, y'all looking very small. The military is only 1% of the nation. I'm talking about the other 99. Like, it's less than 1%. The other 99% of the nation should be striving to something different. Like, you know, the thing that really got me, I went to the city up here in Washington, and they said that in the last, I think, 5 years, they had 2 fights, and they got expelled because violence was like, it's not a thing. Me being from Georgia, everybody fought in school. It was a part of a normal. If you set a new standard, hold on, listen. If you set a new standard, people start performing different, and that's the only point that I'm making.
Okay,
Wait, if we set a new standard, real fucking quick. If we set a new standard, 4-hour day. If we set a new standard, aren't we in agreement then? So we should change the way we do school. That's a new standard, right? We can do 4 hours as opposed to 8. That's a new standard. I'm with you.
That would be kind of good.
We figured it out.
Yes.
So the Facebook group says, she says, men have been fighting since the beginning of time. There have been wars and wars and wars, and there was no social media. So how do you feel about men? What? How do you feel about men having violence in them and being a part of them?
Well, I feel like you can't choose violence. If you're gonna let me be violent, let me be violent. So when you get out of pocket, I still can be violent. I can only be conditional violent. I only can be violent. Listen, I only can be violent when these women want me to be violent, but I'm supposed to control the violence any other time. Get out of here.
No, what was saying?
What's your name on Facebook? I'm going to join the group right now. What's the Facebook name? I'm going over there.
It's a personal.
Oh, don't get E-Man started.
I had to create a troll account.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Being violent and being dangerous are two of the most important attributes of being a man.
Damn.
You must be dangerous. You must
and maintain our society. That's how we maintain our society.
Also, you must be violent. But that doesn't mean you go around slapping the innocent, slapping people and whatnot. No, that's stupid. I agree with you. Violence should always be diplomacy. Must always be your first choice. Always choose diplomacy and de-escalation. Those are your first two tactics, right? However, if the occasion calls for it, you must be able and willing to be violent, because there's sometimes, man, you might run up against somebody who won't let you walk away, and you got to stand your ground.
Haven't been in the fight though. Let's like most people are not violent in nature, right?
And that's a problem, bro.
That's a problem.
I don't.
That's a problem. I think every man
got me put in prison.
I think every man should be punched in his mouth at least once as a child. Every fucking man should know what it feels like to get punched.
No. Put him in boxing.
So long as you get punched in the mouth, I don't care how it happens. Get punched in the fucking mouth, either in the boxing ring or the octagon.
Because you gotta learn the hard way either way in life.
Now, Mandrell knows when Mandrell came to Dallas, I showed him videos. My boys got gloves, and I glove them up.
And here's what I loved about here's what I loved about his little boys, E-Man.
Oh, I didn't
look. We go to Walmart. Shut up. We're not the same size.
No,
anyway.
I'm talking about two sons. Crazy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. We go to Walmart. These little boys jumping on me the whole time, trying to beat me up, trying to take me down. One trying to do a single leg. One jumping on my back, trying to grab me around the neck. They bounce up. And I'm just like, okay, roughhousing. That's what boys are supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Roughhousing and carrying on.
So
control violence.
Right, it's controlled.
See, but let's talk about it. I would say 2 out of 10. So in 2022, how many people on this panel been in the fight? I want to see y'all guys raise your hand.
I did. I was.
Okay, what type of fight are we talking about?
I mean,
I was in a dirty fight. I'll poke his eyes out. I'll pull his nuts. I did everything.
Okay, I don't know what you do.
I fight 30. I don't care.
I'm with E-Man on that one. I don't know what you got going on over there, bro.
I fight 30. I don't care. I will hurt you. I will find any way to hurt you.
Change your environment.
Right, that's dangerous.
I believe the average American should know how to fight, but I don't think I don't think they fight now. I don't think, especially when you get older, especially when y'all old guys.
Man, I'll shoot the shit out your ass. You out here trying to.
I would agree that being able to shoot somebody is more valuable than being able to know how to fight.
I say being able to fight is more valuable than having a weapon. You're not always going to have your firearm or whatever. You got to know how to fight.
Exactly.
The last time I got into a tussle, I had my firearm on me, but I couldn't get to it. This shit happened too fast. And I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go to his pistol anyway. Because I do believe that men should be men. I believe in stepping outside. I believe in, meet me around the corner.
That was in 1986, though. When you last time you got to fight,
he did.
Got the
Hey, brother E-Man. Hey, brother E-Man, real talk. Brother E-Man. Brother E-Man, it was 3 weeks ago. It was... All fights are avoidable. It was 3 weeks ago. You can always be a coward and run, but it was 3 weeks ago.
Raphael in the house.
You can always be a coward and run.
I don't think you're a coward. If somebody don't put their hands on you, you have the ability to walk away. I don't think that's being a coward.
But here's the thing. E-Man. Here's the thing, though. It's like I said, you may find yourself in a situation where that person won't let you walk away, and you have no choice but to stand your ground.
But to E-Man's point, that's rare. To E-Man's point, that is rare.
To your point, it is. Now, me, I fight all the time, several times a week.
You're crazy, though. That's why you don't.
PTSD, good for you, good for me.
But that's because I train MMA, okay? Yeah, so I spar, I'm fighting all the time.
We talking to the same people left in the world. See, the crazy people got there looking for fight. You're like, oh.
Man, Drill be
Yeah, come on. I was vibing to that.
Hey, brother E-Man, I would say this though. I hear what you're saying, and brother E-Man, I think it's a very dangerous shift in our nation, in our society, because you're right. Most people, most men, I call them males, because we got very few men left. We got a lot of males. Most males, they want to use their words like Mama told them. They don't want to get into a entanglement. You know, Mama's gonna come up and make it. Mama gonna get a big man like Mandrill to come up and stop the fight and this and that. I think that's wrong. I wasn't raised that way. My mother told me, you better take your ass back outside and go fight that boy. I'm gonna beat your butt. Yeah. So we need that. And here's the thing.
That's what I was told.
I'm not saying to go out here and I'm not saying to be Spartans with it. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I'm not saying to like smack a man with a glove and pistols at dawn. I ain't talking about that. But men need to stand their own ground. Yeah, men need to stand their own ground. Men need to go ahead and tussle. Go ahead and get it out. You know what I mean? When it's over, all right, we cool. We cool. It's done. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? I think this, and I know this is going to sound funny, but I think bullying was the best fucking thing that ever happened to us. Listen, it gave you confidence. Listen,
it builds conflict builds character. Conflict builds character in a man.
Hell yeah.
But you know what it really does? But you know what it really does? It teaches you at a very young age. It teaches you at a very young age to conquer fear.
Yep.
I ain't never met a fearless man in my life. You got to conquer that.
And to add that the world isn't a nice place to be in.
That's why I'm saying it's not the best if you don't overcome it. It can haunt you your whole life if you don't overcome it.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths, yo. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. That's it. A warrior only one.
But to sum it up, bro, as men, we do. This is why I said earlier what I said. We're the ones that actually we set the tone, because when you have men, it's supposed to be this way. When a man sees that another man is in the vicinity, he always have to think that there's a possibility that if me and this man get into a conflict, somebody is either going to go to the hospital, the morgue, and somebody else is going to either go to the goddamn penitentiary. So that's where it gets to a point where what we have to do is we have to respect one another. It's there all the time.
Right. So I'm not the only one that do that. When I walk into a place, I size up the biggest motherfucker in there in case some.
You gotta size them up, everybody.
Yeah, it's like an alpha male thing. You gotta have that alpha male mentality.
It's not even that, gentlemen. Go ahead. It's not even that, gentlemen. Like alpha male and all that shit. As a man, you need to be able to defend yourself, and then you need to be able to defend your wife and your loved ones. Period. That's just the way I was brought up. And if you're a man,
gotta have somebody to respect that, man, because it goes to Mandrell already said it. The first thing that we go to is what? To diffuse. We go to diffuse, and one of the things is our presence can diffuse a whole lot of shit. Just the presence of us being in a vicinity.
A man's presence. Can we get too many males? That's what I'm trying to say. We on the same page, bro. All I'm trying to say is this. We got all these young, like I did have an altercation a few weeks ago, bro. Like you brought it up at a place that I used to frequent with my people. And it was some dude who was moving with female energy. He didn't understand that there would be repercussions fucking with me. And I was nice about it. I'm like, listen, I'm talking to him. I'm the only one there. Ain't been drinking nothing like that. This man, you know me, a younger dude, but he drunk. I would have, man, look. And I told him nice, and I told him nice again. And what I realized is he did not understand the gravity of the moment until I put my hands on him. And at that moment, it was nothing but fear.
He knew
At
from him.
that moment.
And here's the point. Here's the point I'm trying to make. He should have known that shit before I touched him. But he doesn't know because he's walking around in the world and in America where people are like, oh, everything is nice and it's all friendly and we don't fight and da-da-da. Man, fuck that.
DLC. Hold on. DLC got a point because we are living in the world where participation trophies are fucking shit up too. Like, look, you want to take away rap music, you got to take away participation trophies too, goddammit, because it makes me sick to my fucking stomach as a coach. And my team lose, and they tell my line up, guys, get your medal, and they give you the same fucking trophy the winners got. Oh fuck that! I told my son, you better go get in that car. No.
Leave that shit over there. You can have a pop for losing. Reach in the cooler and get you a pop for losing. Goddamn big man. Don't get no motherfucker high end one. Get no brand name pop. Yeah, get you a goddamn brand.
Hey, even hold that thought real quick. I gotta get.
Get you a Fago.
Hey, Andre Terry sent us a 1999 super chat, man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Shout out to Andre Terry.
We also got another
Andre.
we got another super chat in here from let's see who we got. We got my boy, No Captivity. He said, "Black man, my brother, play that black dude that sound like the gospel group Commission." I got you, brother. That stand up men on the panel and the entire
Freezy.
I got you. I'm gonna play it for you right now. After this, we're gonna do final thoughts, guys. Here we go.
That's fine. You looking for me? Jam, baby. I ain't going nowhere. I'm chilling right here. Me and a rapper jam on the track, chilling with the pocket queen. No, you weren't expecting this, so not like this. Nah, to the hook now. Ain't that like when I sing freestyle? Ain't that like when I do it 3 times? You really do the best, You really do the best, The mic and the melody comes on, the rhythm to hold on. We can't let it go, no. Ain't that like when I do it 3 times?
That's honey. Hey, black man, can I speak on? I want to speak on what we were just talking about the violence and defending yourself.
Freezy, you must be violent.
I'll do final thoughts on you first, then I'm gonna bring Illuminated Revelation in here after Freezy. So Freezy, we'll start with you first. For final thoughts.
No captivity.
Well, I agree with most of the guys on the panel, especially young black men. They do need to have some kind of keen sense of violence in their minds, in certain situations. But the problem with a lot of our community, a lot of the anger is misplaced, and what I was going to say, a lot of our anger is misplaced. Most of these guys, they're joined gangs and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of these kids are cowards, man. They shooting guns sideways. Let me tell you something. A lot of the and I'm gonna just take a page out of E-Man book right now. A lot of these white kids, they going to the gun range at very young ages.
Yes, sir.
And they're being trained properly, and they're being trained to have their anger placed in the mentally in the right place. A lot of our kids are just basically out of whack when it comes to channeling their anger. And when it comes to especially fighting, just like DL said, he had the altercation. A lot of these kids, in order for them to fight, they need about two or three more guys with them so they can jump somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of it is misplaced anger, and it's a lot of cowardness going on. It's not a lot of proper defense mechanisms being taking place in the black community. I mean, we got these guys in these gangs and stuff. These same guys who will commit offense against their own brothers, they won't go across the track in suburban neighborhoods and place their anger, probably where it needs to be with some of these these crooked ass cops like Mandrell say. They would not dare defend their communities in that way. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where I feel like we need to channel, the proper sense of violence with these, with the black youth or whatever. But the thing is, and I'm pretty sure somebody like Mandrell, JT, DL, whoever's been in the military, Dusto, they would probably serve better on how to channel this anger and how to have more of a, form more of a collective, when it comes to, violence in the community. But I just feel like right now, the state of the Black America, it's a lot of cowardice, violence going on, a lot of misplaced anger, and I just feel like it's not being channeled in the right direction.
All right, man. Well, hey, y'all give it up for Freezy. Man, I appreciate you, Freezy.
No captivity.
Appreciate y'all.
Y'all go to No Captivity with Freezy on his YouTube channel.
Before Freezy go, can I get it one time?
Which one? JB, from this day on, to me, you will always be a fuck nigga.
See, that angle was in the right place. See what I'm
It was
saying?
right.
Yeah, that type of shit.
Hey, Freezer, man, you know you're my brother and I love you, man. You have a good night, bro.
Same thing. Love y'all too.
Oh, that's the funny shit, bro.
Oh,
How did they get? He managed to piss Freezy off.
Yeah, but
One of the coolest men on the planet.
Yeah, man.
Freezy, one of the coolest men on the planet. How do you piss him off?
Go ahead, DL.
They found a way though.
Yo, this was fire. Thanks for the link, Black man. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody on the panel, man. All the fellas on the panel, everybody in the chat. Shout out to the Spartan out there, Cody is King. We gotta get Cody is King on one of these panels, bro. Y'all slipping on him. I done had him on. I had him on the show. That's a real one. But accountability, bro. We're in a generation where
everybody mute.
Yeah, everybody mute up. I'm coming through somebody's. We're in a generation with no accountability. I'm not trying to put it on the women or whatever, but there's a lot to be said for these dudes being feminized. You know, you have, these single households, and most single households are ran by women. Again, I'm not trying to put blame on women. I'm just looking at the results. These guys are out here, these young guys especially, they in their emotions big time, and they can't fight. They're small. What do? They grab pistols, right? So it's a lot, it's a lot to what Freezy was saying. I ain't got a problem with pistol play, but that's not where I go to first. That's not what I'm trying to do, because I know I'm going to be accountable for each one of those rounds to come out my weapon. So I'm not really, you know what I mean? I know the laws. That's why I'm in a red state. You know what I mean? Shout out to Florida, America. You know what I mean? I'm all about that. But I'm also about beating the motherfucker's ass or get my ass beat. I'm going to stand on what I'm standing on. I'm 100% about it. If we going to get to that point as a man, that's what being a man is. If we got to take it there, we take it there. Sometimes you got to take it there to get your point across. If we want to talk about violence, America's the most violent society since the damn Vikings, the Spartans. You know what I mean? The Romans. Think how violent we are in this country, and what protects our freedoms, what protects our way of life here in the United States of America. It's our ability to kill anyone who fucks with us. Don't get it twisted, y'all. You know what I mean? The weapons that we use to kill people will blow your mind, and you don't want to take my word for it. Talk to Mandrill about that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say this, man. If we do not teach these young men how to be men, young males how to be men, we're gonna lose the society. We're going to lose it. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, man. I'm DL Saint. Y'all can catch me on YouTube, man. Find me on YouTube, DL Saint. I Really Want to Know podcast. You can catch these characters over there with me. Shout out to any content creator that's out there, y'all, because y'all know how hard this shit is. Shout out to Black Man Unfiltered for doing what he's doing every fucking day, coming up with new shit, always popping, always cranking. You know what I mean? Thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate it. And if you want to catch me on Instagram, I Really Want to Know podcast, all one word, it'll pull me up. I'm a stand-up comedian. Speaking of stand-up comedy, man, shout out to Shoo, man. Mandrill's little sister, man. She out there in the entertainment world. Y'all might be able to catch her on stage doing some comedy, y'all. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say nothing, but fuck it, I did. Be mad at me if you want to, Shoo. So thanks for having me, y'all. I'll see y'all in the back chat.
All right, be good, my brother.
Peace.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you might. They might find her on one of them Netflix specials.
All right.
So
go ahead, my brother JT.
A wise man once said, get down or lay down. That's all I had to say about that there. If you don't know, I am giving Noonchuck classes. Every man should learn how to work these motherfuckers right here. I'm telling you right now, you will whoop somebody's ass if you actually know how to work them effectively. Or sword. You can do that. Man, going back to what the title was, we buy what we want, we buy what we need, and beg for what we want, or however you want to put it. We got to cut this shit out, man. We got to stop depending on the goddamn government to govern every goddamn thing we do. We have to start building our communities back up. And that's talking to the younger folks, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm 50. I ain't trying to have no more goddamn kids. I got 2 of them. One of them already have a child. And my message to them is, you better, treat that young man, my grandson, the way that you would want, or the way that me and your mom treated you. And that's for you to get out here and to be a productive citizen. Regardless, just to be a productive citizen. Don't beg for somebody for something that you can already have yourself. When it comes down to violence, I think it's necessary. And I'm always think the violence is necessary. And I stand on that shit. Other than that, I'm done. I ain't got nothing else to say other than follow me on What We Know podcast with me and my boy Rob. We might be doing the show tomorrow. I don't know. We did one yesterday. The shit was on fire right there. We had Mandrell pirated his ass be pirated everybody's goddamn platform. He come on there and take it over. And that's my brother. I love him.
I also do music and movies, JT. Pirate, in other words.
You're a pirate, yeah. You do all of that. You pirate everything. He steals everything. The show and all. But man, that's all I had to do, man. I had fun with this, man. I had a blast with you guys. This was a great topic. And I'm out, man.
I appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Mr. Bennett, what you got for me, Mr. Bennett?
Gang, we went all over the map tonight, so so many things to comment on. But I just want to go back to the beginning where we're talking about the whole idea is either pay now or pay later is what I come away with, especially with the women that we were talking about earlier. I mean, again, focusing so much on your wants, and then when you realize when you hit 50 or whatever, you realize what you really needed are things that you are wishing for right now. So I think a lot of people, men and women, need to really focus on what's really important. But as far as for the men, I definitely, one thing from this conversation tonight, I definitely think we need to focus on using these as a man. There's so many ways we can use these, and we need to know how to use them in the trades, fixing things, building things. So again, we talk about an educational system, teaching men how to use their hands to build and construct and do things that are positive. Self-defense with these, learning how to protect yourself. So I think we put so much. I mean, this is important, but I think there's so much discipline that you get through physical training. Physical training is of some value. Scriptures say that. And certainly when you get older, you can certainly apply them to spiritual and personal principles in your life. So I definitely think that as men on all phases, that's why working out, training, doing physical things has a lot of values and ways that it can pay off certainly long term. So I encourage all men to do that. But you can find me again on Instagram. Paul T. Bennett is my handle, and I just really promote fitness, fit over 50, and just encouraging. Again, we're losing too many brothers in their 50s, and we need to take better care of ourselves. Exercise. Okay, I don't care what you do, but exercise. If you can, strength training is an important portion of keeping your bone density, and just making sure that you're functional as you get older. And but again, as men, we definitely need to take care of the temple that God gave us. And but again, thank you for the conversation tonight. Again, I encourage everyone, if you're subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered, not only subscribe, become a member of the channel. Again, he's doing good work, God's work, putting out meaningful content, giving spaces so that we can have these discussions on a lot of topics. And he's not just a blessing to himself, but he's a blessing to other people, enable them to have a space on his platform. So again, this is a channel worth supporting. It may not be as flashy or sensationalized as these other channels or whatnot, but this man, he's just as concerned about the quality of the content, not just getting views. But I think this is information worth sharing. So again, thank you always, Black Man, for having me on this panel. Thank you for sharing this segment of your life with us, and I just wish you nothing but success in the future.
Hey, man, thank you so much, Mr. Bennett.
Sir.
Always, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
The Man Williams, what's your final thoughts, my guy?
So first of all, it feel good. I've been out here having all these kids to get back into the barbershop.
Yeah, you a new daddy. What?
It feels good to get back in the barbershop and cook up some
little girl.
I be in there making love, so all these girls just keep coming. But listen, the first thing I want to say right here, I'm gonna talk to the Black fathers. Teach your kids how to resolve things through communication. If you don't want your kid to end up in somebody's jail cell, if you don't want your kids if you don't want your kids to end up in somebody's grave, Or if you don't want your kids to be financially ruined because they done hit somebody who got financial riches that can take all their money, teach them how to resolve conflicts with their word. Now, they still should have the means to be able to have violence if it's necessary, but 90% of the problems can actually be solved by their words. What we got to do is teach our Black men on how to move effectively to be able to put them in the best position that they can provide for their family and to build generational wealth. So I just wanted to say that, and I want to say thank you for coming over. Thank you for Black Man for having me over to the barbershop. This was a good experience. It was good to talk to the guys, but you got to remember what things really matter in the future is being able to make rational decisions as an adult. And that's the thing that I feel that we got to teach our kids. So I appreciate you guys for having me over again. I do want to say this. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm Either Man Williams, Instagram, Either Man Williams, and on my YouTube page every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is Morning Doses with Either Man Williams. It's also Either Man Williams. So I appreciate y'all guys for having me up here tonight.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, man. E-Man. All right. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? How you doing today? But everybody good out here in the streets?
Everybody good, man.
I mean, he's trying to get our sons bullied. That's what he sound like.
That's what he's trying to do. Yeah. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Lil Hink ain't going for that. You don't put your hands on Lil Hink. He knows how to fight. So, let me say this. Black man, please, black man, please protect yourself at all times. If that means you got to knuckle up, go from the shoulder, so be it. Whatever you got to do. But mainly, man, get your mental right. If you have to get on somebody's couch or somebody's Zoom meeting, do what you got to do. Take care of yourself, black man. Get your blood work in order. Make sure your A1C's in order. Make sure you go get them, their screenings. Go get colonoscopy check and prostate check. Make sure your blood pressure's always on point. You got to get that done. I know some people out there hesitant, like Mandrell sounds like, but you got to get it done. If you got a history of prostate cancer in your family, you got to go get checked up so you could be ahead of the curve and you got a chance to survive.
Yeah,
Black man, I want y'all around in the world long as possible. In order for us to take over the world, you got to be here.
Yep.
So do what you got to do.
Yeah, because Mandrell put everything else in his ass.
You know well. God damn. Shout out to the eggplant for Mandrell.
No, bro, no. None of that going on.
If you want to see Hink, man, come over and check me out in the basement, man. Mondays for the sports recap and Wednesdays man talk. If you want to reach me on IG, hit me up at Hink75 or the basement with Hink. You can also catch me on Facebook as well or on Twitter at Hink75. Whichever way, get at me.
Hey, Hink, you in New Orleans?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in New Orleans right now. Currently, as we speak.
All right, dude. Yeah, have yourself a good time, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm leaving out Sunday morning, so I'm gonna fly back. But I'm gonna go check out a nice cigar lounge tomorrow. So.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Go hang out over there on Bourbon Street before you go.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bourbon Street like that now.
They go to Cafe Du Monde and get you some beignets. It's cash only over there, by the way.
Hey, yeah, Cafe Du Monde. Oh my God.
Yeah, go to Cafe Du Monde and get you some beignets. And keep in mind, it's cash only, by the way.
You went to the one inside the mall, or you went to the one on the street?
No, the one on the street, bro.
Yeah, man.
I got a couple places I gotta go to tomorrow. I was in a place called Copeland's Restaurant. Copeland's
it's a New Orleans jazz restaurant. Yeah.
So it's real nice. And I was at the bar and I was talking to a cat. He gave me a couple black-owned business restaurants to partake in. So I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah. Did he give you one called?
That one called Monday and Merrill's.
Yeah, because there's one right in the middle of the hood that used to be an old house. It's a hole in the wall. Got the best goddamn seafood you ever had in your life. Bro.
Well, look here, you're not gonna take me to the hood where y'all got your highest killing rate down here in New Orleans.
No, I wouldn't put you over there like that now. No, I ain't
gonna
do that.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you, brother. So yeah, man. So thank you for being here, man. Be safe out there, brother. Get home safe, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, God bless. Thanks.
You too, big brother.
All right. Go ahead, my brother Mo.
All right. First and foremost, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on here. Like, it's a pleasure to talk to you guys. Mandrill, Black Man, every single one of you guys. E-Man, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that I took away from this is that we need to start teaching financial literacy to our kids, because we need to invest in our future. Teach them as young as you can, so that way they know how to build wealth. The second thing I thought of is the violence. Sometimes violence is necessary. You have to be violent. You have to fight in order to get your point across. That's what you have to do, and that's what the way the world is. America, the world is never a nice place. You gotta learn how to be violent. You gotta learn how to fight. You gotta learn how to put your dukes up. And if you learn that, you'll be able to survive in this world. But like I said, thank you guys very much. You guys are an incredible blessing in my life. I am glad to be on this panel, and God bless you all. And that's all I have to say, man.
All right, Mo. Well, Mo, we'll see you next Friday, man. I'll send you the link for next Friday, brother.
Yeah, definitely send me a link, man.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you.
Email me your contact information, like phone number and stuff, so I can keep you in the loop and text you and all that kind of stuff.
All right, I'll give you my phone number, then, man.
Yeah. Just email it to me. All right, man. But appreciate you so much, man. Mo, thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, my boy in the building tonight. Hey, guys, listen, I want y'all to know who this is, man. This is Illuminated Revelation. He has his own channel coming up pretty soon. A great man to talk to. What y'all don't know about Illuminated Revelation is a secret. Illuminated Revelation used to be a stripper. And so
okay, we're going to stop this for internet content, okay? All right, that gummit. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm already pissed. They just voted Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the freaking House.
What?
And,
you knew that was coming. Stop it. You knew it was coming.
Anyway, but I just want to say to the internet audience that it's only 7 days in, and Black man still hasn't gotten saved yet after all of 2022. We brought him before the congregation, and we're trying our best. I called security boss. I don't think you got my message. I got to call Mr. Security Boss, Mandrill. You're going to have to do something with this man, because we can't go into 2023 like this. I mean, it's starting to become a hopeless situation. I don't know if we're going to have to go to the clone, or we're going to have to go to DARPA. We're going to have to do something, because this is not going well. I came into the show. I was listening. He had me in the background. I thought he had the decency to pull me up. I gave him the peace sign. I cammed up. I got my beard done. Excuse me, sir. This is final dissertation, not final thoughts. This is a dissertation right now. So, Mandrill, I hope we can get this thing together. I'll try to be on time. I had some things to do with the family and everything, but I'll try to be on time next time to try to bring some sanity to this doggone panel. And just, I don't know. I don't know. The congregation is not working. We're not praying enough. I don't know what's going on here. So, Black men unfiltered, he needs to be filtered, because this is not going well.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want you guys to know that this is a great guy, and his stripper name was Dip Berries. So
okay, see, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen, for intimate internet content and context. We do not play that. That is not my name. I've never participated in such activity. I don't know who this man is. I just came by here on the panel to talk to Mandrill and other Black men, as my good friend AL said.
Thank you very much.
We got AL. That I appreciate you, brother. We have too many males, and this is one of them right here. Okay, so I just want to say it was a great show outside of Black. Excuse me, sir. Grown folks are talking. It was a great show, despite the host getting out of character as always. We don't know what we're gonna do with him. We're gonna try to bring Raina in. Y'all we're gonna try, people. Just hang in there. It's a long road. We're really trying to do what we're trying to do. So I really appreciate you guys, all the other men on the panel, and we really appreciate you. So You know, y'all hang in there. It's the dreadlocks that's doing. He hasn't washed them this year, so that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Hey man, so guys, I want to kick a shout out to Dip Berries. Illuminated Revelation. He came through, and I'm glad that he came in. So I appreciate you, man.
Now wait a minute, stop. Here comes Freezy talking about some baby oil Bob. You know what, Freezy? We just had a good conversation. And you know what? Bring your butt to the back chat. We're gonna take this to the back chat. Just go to Mandrell. We're taking this junk to the back chat. Y'all just get me off here. I'm done. I'm not gonna comment no more.
Oh my God. He got me hurting, boy. Oh Lord have mercy. That boy said, baby, Bob. I love it. All right. Mandrell, what's your final thoughts, man?
I wanted to tell Hank to try the Oceana Grill in New Orleans. It's off of Bourbon Street.
Oh yeah, right there on the corner, right?
Yeah, it's when you're on Bourbon Street. It's
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You take a left. It's on Conti Street.
Yeah,
Conti.
I know exactly where it is. Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, that restaurant is fire.
Yeah,
delicious food. But it's one of my favorite places to go in New Orleans. But it's all right conversation. It was all right. You know, I can't let you feel too good about yourself. There's always something to improve. You know what I'm saying? Like you get haircut. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to get rid of the locks?
Get rid of the locks. Yeah, you can get a haircut. That's what you can do. Yeah, fellas. You guys know I'm doing a series on my show about manhood. You know what I'm saying? Tenets of manhood. And one of these episodes is going to talk about how to be dangerous, because men must be dangerous. And dangerous doesn't just mean being violent.
Right.
You can be dangerous with your words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do a show about it. I'm going to mention that and how to do that. You know? Because whenever anyone hears dangerous, they hear violence. That's what they think. If it's like, no, there's a lot more to being dangerous than being violent. You know, to answer, but you have to be able to. This is honorable. You have to teach your boys to live life with a life of honor. Using these as opposed to one of these, this is honorable. Everybody lives to see another day. 2 men had a point. 1 man proved it. It's over now. It's over. No one has to die. So we buy what we want and beg for what we need. It certainly seems that way, to be honest. You know, but like E-Man brought up a very good point. Black men who are in the middle class and doing all right for themselves, they do both. They buy what they need and what they want. It seems like it. You know what I'm saying? But anyone under that, yeah, you know the people. You know the ones we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? The guys who get a Challenger with a with a V8 engine, the V8 Hemi. You know what I'm saying? But they pull up to a shot house, a rickety ass house. I mean, it's like, or an apartment in your $50,000 vehicle. A $50,000 vehicle, and you pull up into an apartment.
Yeah, you see a lot of that in Louisiana too, boy.
Yeah, instead of using that money to put it as a down payment on a house. Come on, man. What are your priorities?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But and that's just it. I mean, a lot of these guys haven't been educated. They haven't been taught. They haven't been taught how to prioritize things, what to prioritize, and why to prioritize them. You know, again, there's just been no daddies in the house, no men in their lives. It's just boys raising boys. You know what I'm saying? The blind eating the blind. Nobody knows shit, but they think they know they know what's going on in the world. They think they got all the answers. And smarten up, people. Make sure to turn into Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu on Wednesday nights, so you can finally get some lessons in manhood and masculinity.
All right, man.
And that's it.
Thank you so much, Mandrell. Thank you for being here, man. See you in the back chat, my brother. Man, I want to kick a shout out, man. Listen, I've been working on something, man. I'm gonna be a manager because I'm retired, but I've been working on something with Mandriel and DL Saint, Illuminated Revelation, JT from What We Know podcast. I'm working on them. They're coming out of retirement, and like I told you, Illuminated Revelation, he was a stripper. They call him Dip Berries. DL Saint was a stripper. They call him Sundown. And then Mandrell was a stripper, and they called him A Little Bit More. And then JT was a stripper, and they called him Old Abraham. And so they have a new group together, and the new group together is called Deuteronomy. And they're going to be going on tour pretty soon. So I'll be letting you guys know all those places and where they're going to go. Did you want to promote that real quick, Mr. Revelation? Did you want to promote your?
Oh, I do not. Do not listen to this blasphemy. Would you in the dog?
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's bashful, guys. So I just want to kick a shout out to him. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the join button, hit the Cash App, hit the everything that's on the channel, man. And I appreciate all of you for sticking with us this long. We've been here for 3 hours and 35 minutes, and it seems like we've been here for an hour. So great conversation, great laughter, great serious conversation. So much love to you guys. Y'all be safe. We'll see you guys on Monday for reactions, okay? So unfiltered reactions. We'll see you guys then. 8:30 Central Standard Time on Monday. It's been real, man. And keep in mind, the group is named Deuteronomy. That will consist of Illuminated Revelation, DL Saint, Mandrell, and JT from What We Know podcast. All right, we'll let you know. I thought I saw Mr. Illuminated Revelation at the store today getting his leper skin ready, so he's ready to go. He's ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you guys later. Peace.